flagship episode of the Oyu'baat cast. Fuck, I fucked it up. Alright, start over.
Great start. Great start.
Start over.
Wonderful start.
Alright, bye everybody.
I don't
I'm
even have the
restreaming and
meme.
deleting. No, I'm kidding. I'm not actually gonna do that.
Let me get the
Hello,
mead.
everyone, and welcome to the first ever flagship episode of the Oyu'baat Cast. I am Tad Lar'kin, YouTube's resident Mandalorian historian, and with me I have...
Sukuigar. Hello there. I'm Sombraptor. I'm an artist, meme maker, video maker, general massive Star Wars nerd. Yeet.
And I am Wildcat of Text Talks Battletech artist. I do the memes, the Battletech and Star Wars memes.
And a lot of people have been wondering, when is the Cantina Roundtable coming back? They say, oh, where's Cantina Roundtable? What happened? And we don't know when it's coming back, because we really don't know what's going on with Boofire.
I wanted to get this out of the way for those in the audience who have followed me and Delta for a while, who've watched Cantina Roundtable. For the record, we have not fallen out with Boofire or anything. That is not replacing Cantina Roundtable. I think he's been dealing with his own stuff and is welcome on anytime.
Yeah.
He's just been busy doing stuff.
This is our own separate interim thing until he gets whatever he needs to get sorted. And
Until he is unbanished from the Shadow Realm.
He's actually chained up.
Yeah,
in the
we did it.
basement, and we're just no, I'm kidding.
we have him down in the basement, just kind of chained up, tied up, and everything like that. If you hear any yelling or screaming, don't. Yeah, if you hear yelling or screaming, just don't mind that.
Yeah, no.
I don't just keep it on the down low.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
That reminds me, it's almost time to empty his shit bucket. So.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
I didn't realize you did that.
Well, it's got a shit somewhere, but
I thought we sutured
that. Wonderful start to our very safe for work
I already
podcast.
fucked up the intro, so that's where this is going.
We've already lost your monetization. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's going
Joke's
way.
on you, I'm not monetized. I just don't want copyright strikes.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, all of my money comes from Patreon, and I prefer to keep it that way.
Hey, you guys are getting money?
Hey, your videos have been very successful. I would, if you keep up with it, you should start a Patreon.
So yeah, I've
join the scrub.
Overwhelmed by class work and whatnot, so I'll be done later this semester.
Just people like that are into your work enough to want to, contribute part of their hard-earned money. Is just like, it's a feeling I can't describe it. It's like, wow, you actually like the stuff I put out enough to, contribute something. Like, thank you so much. It's like the greatest feeling I've ever had, to be honest.
Yeah, I honestly feel the same way.
If I ever do, it'll definitely be once I'm done with stuff, because I will feel like I have an obligation to said people, but I'm very busy right now, so
you must create content every day, every hour.
Every day. Let's see the comments. Hey, how you guys doing? Hello.
Bionic Tail has a question.
Hey, Posh. Yo, how you doing, my man? Yeah, no, just if a friend of mine is hopped on.
Bionic Tail has a question about Boofire's channel. Was he banned? I don't think he was.
He was not banned. He had some copyright issues and panicked and privated everything, but everything should be back up right now. But he's still inactive. He's dealing with his own stuff. But yeah,
I can imagine copyright strikes not being fun.
No, I've disputed one and won once. That was
nice.
That was a good feeling. It was on I think it was on one of my Why the Clone Wars Doesn't Fit in the EU videos. Of
course it was.
They didn't like I I used the clip of Anakin's knighting from the OG Clone Wars series, and out of all the stuff, even though I've used clips from the films too, out of all the stuff in there, that's the one they flagged. And I said it's fair use because it's on silent. I put music and my own voiceover over it, and I was explaining the scene, so it's fair use. And then they let it go, so I was like, okay, yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, I mean, copyright climbing anything is just I hate it.
Yeah, especially like I get it, but at the same time, it's like we're not really making money off of this. Screw off. Like all the stuff going on with GW. I know we're a little late to the party, and I'm sure other podcasts have covered this, but if you don't know what's going on with Games Workshop, they have recently
Oh
done
man.
a
Oh,
no
I
tolerance
can.
policy on their fan animations.
I know.
Can I talk about this one?
Absolutely. Like I'll just quickly, because like last year I was so hopeful because they were like, "Yo, we're bringing in the guy who did Astartes and doing all this other stuff." But how they turned it around from this very hopeful thing into what they've done now, I'll let Wildcat.
Yeah, I was actually buddies with some of the animators who got told no. I'm in fact friends with some of the cast for the Emperor's Text to Speech series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sad that it's on. Anyway, sorry.
Oh
please
yeah,
continue.
they were not happy either. It is honestly, it's like cathartic, but also horrifying because I'm also a fan of 40K. I love the Sisters of Battle. I love the Black Templars. I love the Imperial Guard, and it's just I was doing work for Baltimore, and now it's like, oh, I'm not touching 40K because I don't want Games Workshop coming at me.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit.
And so it's just like I know Baltimore's still doing stuff, but it was like I had to step away. I'm like, sorry, dude, I can't. Not with how they're currently doing it. Apparently, he's also terrified of it as well because it's like I've seen some people like, oh, they're not going to go after the lore videos or the battle reports or the paint tiers or no, they actually are.
And they're shooting
If
themselves in the foot. It's
yeah,
it's free advertising for their products. And
if you think that they were just going to stop at the animators, oh no, because everything wants to go. They want everything to go on their Warhammer Plus streaming service, and on their Warhammer Plus, they have painting videos, they have battle report videos, they have animations, they have lore videos. None of those things.
Basically they're just like, hey, we don't want a form of competitor that we can get that is free.
yeah, essentially, yeah.
It's just so silly that and because Games Workshop isn't an entertainment company; they're a hobby toy company. You know?
Oh, they're trying to leave that.
That's like if Hasbro said, "Oh, we're gonna make our own streaming service," and anybody who does like the stop motion superhero action figures, cease and desist. It's stupid. It's completely stupid. I understand if you're like a telecommunications company wanting to make a streaming service, that makes sense. A hobby store, basically, a glorified hobby company, it makes no sense.
Yeah, welcome to GW.
I don't understand if how UK law like works in that regard over when it comes to international copyright nonsense, but I don't know if that's a factor in all this, but
it's a partial factor. The problem is the GW lawyers are going way too overzealous with it. It's like, yes, you have to do this, but there's a limit where even the UK government is like, you don't have to do this. But they will do it anyways.
They're within their legal rights, and that's the problem.
Yeah, it's like they're within their legal rights to do so, but even like just because it's one of those things of like you were so concerned with whether you could, you didn't think to if you should.
Mm-hmm. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly. And so that's kind of the idea of the GW lawyers is that they will just go straight at anything that even breathes 40K that isn't theirs.
And it's unfair.
They kick people out of tournaments for using bases bases on their minis. They kick people out of tournaments for not using GW bases.
Really?
Yeah, I've had a buddy who was actually kicked out of a tournament because of that.
Even if they make their own?
Yeah.
Really?
They kick people out of tournaments for using proxy models for it, because everything for GW tournaments has to be WYSIWYG, or what you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, even the bases have they picked up the bases, they looked at the bottom, and they said, "Oh, you don't have the GW logo on the bottom of it. You can't use these." Yeah, it's that ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
Jeez.
So it's like, to me, I've been sitting back seeing this all from afar, basically, and I'm just like, you guys are shocked? I saw this coming a mile away.
Parker Parrish asks if you think they're going to come for fan artists next.
Yes, absolutely they will.
Yeah.
There's already been one dude, I believe, that's already been attacked by GW for it. Because they're like, "Oh, you're putting it on Patreon. You can't do that because it's quote unquote you're making money off of it, even if you open it up to like the public or anything like that. Simply by it being on Patreon, they were like, nope, you can't do that now."
Jesus.
Yeah, it's
okay. I understand, like, when it comes to companies being afraid of their copyright being infringed by other companies, but when it comes to individual create, I really it's negligible in terms to their income stream. Like, why just be agreed? Of course it's humanity, of course.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, I drew a space marine. Well, son,
lawsuit.
You're going to jail.
Basically.
Lawsuit. Can't have that.
Oh, that's nice, son. Too bad I called the cops.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You got a no. It's the UK. You got a license for that?
You got a license to draw?
You got a license for stabbing, mate? Yeah, right here.
Right here.
License is a license.
Queen.
I tried to do it, but I just turned into Australian or Kiwi. I spent so much of my high school years trying to Tamara Morrison accent. It just anything. I just go, full clone.
Don't get me started on accents. I can't do a Tamura Morrison. I can't do Australian, but I could do English. I could do Scottish.
He's Kiwi.
He's New Zealander, you twat.
I can't do that accent, but I can do apparently downtown London. I can apparently do Irish, Scottish, Swedish, German, Russian, down Louisiana, Southern.
You give me a minute. I do Brazilian like this. I just.
You're also. Aren't you Brazilian?
English. Come to Brazil.
Soy,
Come
soy,
to
soy,
Brazil.
soy.
Mordekaiser numero uno. That's Russian. Za, 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 za.
Shua, 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 shua.
Yo voy al español, and I go back to English like this. No, I did a no. See, no, I still had a little portrait. Anyway,
Expect
Deutsch topic.
Nicht español. Nicht portugués.
But yeah, no. So KOTOR remake announced. That was surprising.
I have to admit, I just watched it right before we started streaming, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I've never actually watched it. Ooh, I should probably do that.
Yeah, it wasn't anything special. It was just Jennifer Hale doing a voiceover, and then Revan ignites his lightsaber, and ooh, it's Revan, or is it?
Hold on. Jennifer Hale and not special do not go in the same sentence.
I've met Jennifer Hale. She's actually quite nice. I like her a lot.
Really?
Yeah, Jennifer Hale's good.
My girlfriend's a huge Mass Effect fan, and so we went to a Comic-Con once. I think it was Rhode Island, and she's like, "Oh, Femshep's here. I have to meet Femshep," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll meet her too, because I like Bastila Shan."
Jennifer Hale is like half of my childhood when it comes to video games.
Mhm.
I know her as Jaden Core in Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, as Fem Shep in Mass Effect, as Bas-Lashan, as... Did she do Satele?
Yeah, she did Satele as well.
She
I
did
think so, yeah.
Satele?
She was also
Um,
Ayla Sakura in the Clone Wars.
Ayla Secura. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
she was
she
in
has
everything.
range. She has a lot of range.
Yes,
It's
she
impressive
does.
as hell.
Yeah.
She was in everything. So back to the
yeah.
remake.
Yeah,
I
but
have mixed feelings.
before I go on my rant, what are all of your thoughts?
So let me come in as
I'll let you go
possibly,
first.
yes, let me come in as probably the most middle person in here. One, I have not seen any gameplay. So one, can't base anything off that. Two, it literally is just Revan walking forward, igniting a lightsaber with Jennifer Hale voiceover. Not much to really go off of. I don't know too much about like who's creating it. I don't typically base that off of like too much because always changes. I've heard some things. Yeah, I've heard some things.
Oh boy.
But the way I see it is, I am hesitant. I am not even optimistic. I am cautious. I would say is my preferred emotional state towards remake. I want to know mainly how are they going to do gameplay. That's the big.
Yes.
That's the big numero is gameplay. How is that going to go? And if that's good, good. I'm okay with it. If it's bad, it's bad.
Yeah, this is straight. Because I mean, this is this may be heresy. I may get crucified for this. I never finished KOTOR. Yeah. I just could not get into the combat. You know, I love the story. I know everything that happens. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
The combat is kind of janky.
Yeah, I get that they're going for the whole D&D type thing.
Yeah.
I just could not get into it, you know?
That and the first Dragon Age was really hard for me to get through.
Oh, same. I have a thing about that, the whole D&D gameplay kind of thing. I'm a tabletop player. So I've done D&D, I've done Battletech tabletop, 40K tabletop. I've even done Star Wars Legion's tabletop. I understand on tabletop through the requirements of having to do turn-based stuff. When you're playing a virtual medium, though, you don't have those requirements.
The limitations, yeah.
You don't have the limitations. Yeah. So it's like there's limitations in physical games that you need to do turn-based. So the fact...
Okay. Posh just said something interesting. What would you guys think if KOTOR Remake had Jedi Fallen Order style combat?
Ooh.
That
would be quite interesting. It'd be interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the Fallen Order combat system. I haven't actually played the game, but I've seen quite a lot of gameplay footage of it. And honestly, it feels pretty clunky.
McClunky?
Like the McClunky. Yeah, it feels kind of jank. Like when I look back at like the games with the best lightsaber combat, I look at Force Unleashed, I look at Jedi Knight. You know, I look at those with
Why was
like
Jedi Knight not first in your mind?
I played Force Unleashed more recently than I have Jedi Knight, so that it's a little bit fresher in my...
Lightsaber combat in TFU is garbage compared to Jedi Knight.
Oh, it is 100%.
I should probably play Jedi Knight then.
But it is
Sombraptor in the basement with Boofire.
Yes, we are.
I thought you were gonna say trash compactor, but okay.
Yeah, so it's like, so yeah, I would say Fallen Order combat is just clunky, slow, like not even realistic. Because I'm a huge fan for like, oh, you want I want realistic knights and sword fighting and stuff like that. And it's just like whenever I watch Fallen Order, it's like you're struggling to press buttons. Is the way I see it. Is it just looks like either button mashing or I almost said mutton bashing.
Let's get
Either button
mashing
mashing.
buttons.
I mash my mutton every. I mean, what? No.
But yeah, let's have Jedi Academy style lightsaber fighting because that's fun. That was a lot of fun. It genuinely felt like, oh yeah, I'm a super powerful Jedi going up against other super powerful Sith. And every button mash I did, it felt like I was actually doing something.
I feel like I should play it then.
You should get it on console. It's a lot more fun on console.
I mean, I can just hook up my controller, but yeah, no, I barely
That too.
touched my Xbox since.
I've never played Fallen Order. Never had an interest in playing it. Probably never will. So I can't really.
So
compare.
Cal Kestis is just ugly.
But
I gotta say that.
my concerns. And were you done, Sam?
Oh,
I want you to finish your thoughts before
yeah,
I
sure.
go on
No,
my
when it comes to
path of
the
destruction.
remake, no,
Aha, Drew Karpyshyn, who is not writing this remake.
Yeah, what really concerns me is that they confirmed that they're hiring they've got like new writers on stuff. Is it not a 1-to-1 of the original? That's quite concerning. I mean, sure, okay, maybe the audio files are a little like I don't know, like too compressed and old or something. I don't know for you to use the exact same audio, and maybe you can't get all the same voice actors, but
no, Canderous is dead, I think.
No,
What?
is
Yeah, the
hold on.
actor who we were talking about this on the Manda-LORE Discord. The voice actor who played Canderous has passed away.
Oh my
that's
god,
sad.
Yeah,
he did.
Ah,
that was like a while ago.
That was
That's-
2017. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
oof.
he's only
Okay,
63.
Yeah.
What did he
that's
die of?
unfortunate.
Cancer. God.
damn.
Yeah,
Of course
it's a
it is.
shame.
That's depressing.
But that's my main thing I'm concerned about. Any changes in writing and whatnot. I'm certain it's gonna be graphically beautiful. I'm sure it's gonna have, sure a lot of the technical aspects are gonna be fantastic. That's the main thing I'm quite cautious on.
All right. So are you kids ready for Tad's super optimistic predictions?
Oh,
for the
no.
KOTOR remake?
Oh man.
Let me get the bunker.
Right. Hold on. Let me get my armor on to.
Let me get the helmet.
Because I'm famously optimistic about all things Star Wars. I'm just a bowl of optimism. Yeah, I already, like, the first day when we didn't know anything, I'm like, this could be good. But the second day when we started learning information, I'm like, yeah, no, this is not good.
Oh no.
So the main writer they have, I forget her name, Maggie something, or Mags is her last name. I can't remember. And I don't have
Mags.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with her, in of herself, except for the fact that she's blatantly stated that KOTOR wasn't her favorite. Now, I know, she never said, I hate KOTOR, it's the worst thing ever. But she said, KOTOR.
What was the context to that? Could she have been saying that KOTOR 2 was her favorite, or?
No, let me find the tweet. I don't really want to do it with live here, but you can find the tweet. It's on Mandalore's Discord. I didn't want to.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
no. Okay, I found the context. It's a joke. She was saying that Yoda stories was her favorite.
Oh, okay.
Is it
Yeah.
actually
No,
a joke?
that's
Yeah,
a
yeah. See,
joke.
I just posted the full context.
Are you
apparently. I found
100%
it.
sure it's a joke?
The thread was one of my favorite Star Wars game. Finally, get the collector's edition. It deserves. Star Wars Yoda stories. Y'all fake gamers missed out on this action. Isn't KOTOR your favorite? No.
Yes, and she's literally
Okay, so
showing
she's
Yoda's
literally
story. Yes,
shitposting.
she.
Okay,
I kind of like her a little bit more now.
Okay, see,
Okay.
this is the sort of thing that
that makes me
in the fan base that I'm quite like when there's
no, you can finish your
contextualized.
thought, but
Sorry. Yeah, no, go on. Please continue.
that makes me feel slightly better. So there goes that part of my monologue. But no, I'm happy to be proven wrong in this case. I'm still not confident, though, that it's going to take place within the expanded universe continuity. I'm very fearful that
I think it's going to be canonized.
I am very fearful that they're going to try to rewrite it, the setting and all of the background lore to fit within their new canon. And I'm very fearful that they're not going to understand why. Understand like what Revan is to the player.
I figured you would prefer it being canon so that it wouldn't overwrite the old and so legends would be quote unquote preserved.
I don't want any more EU stuff being brought into the new canon. To be frank, first of all, because whenever they do that, they bastardize whatever they bring in. And time and again, they've proved that they don't really understand the characters and the locations and the concepts they bring over from the EU. They just bring over the name and appearance, and sometimes not even. Sometimes just the name. Like Kessel, for example. Yeah, they don't even have the same appearance of Kessel. Like completely different.
Oh yeah.
And Corellia, and they take these concepts from the expanded universe without understanding them. They bring them into the new canon, and
so they're the same thing in name only. Is what you're getting at?
Precisely, and that's what.
So you're afraid that that's what they're going to do with Revan?
Yes, precisely.
I understand
that's a valid fear.
I am afraid that they're not going to understand what Revan is and why he's so popular. And it's we were talking about Halo earlier before we started. It's the same thing with Master Chief. Master Chief is popular because I don't know if they've canonically shown his face yet, because again, I've only played up until Reach. But the whole idea with Master Chief is that you the player are slipping your shoes into this character. And that character can be anybody underneath that helmet. It's you. That's
one of the quintessential self-insert like game characters.
Yes, and
like
Revan,
Link, like Gordon Freeman.
Yes, Revan
is
the same exact thing. And I fear that they're going to take more of a linear storyline approach with this. I fear that they're going to, you'll still be able to customize your Revan and make him or her whatever species or sex you want. I do think that they're going to not capture his essence completely. I feel like they're going to restrict some of the player's freedom. And that's not what.
Oh, you think
that's not what Revan's
think like the choice-based like stuff is going to be diminished?
Yes, I feel like it's going to be a bit more linear. I feel like we're not going to have the grand scale that we had with the BioWare KOTORs, which will probably be used in the future to distinguish the two. Kind of like how we say the EA Battlefronts versus the OG Battlefronts.
Right.
But yeah, that's one of my biggest fears, is that they're not going to understand the essence of the characters or the locations or the events that they bring over from Legends into the new canon. And
that is entirely fair.
I have a feeling that while this game might be pretty and fun to play, it's kind of story-wise and lore-wise, it's just going to be a shell of its former self, and just kind of the bastardized, casual, if you will, casualized version of the games we grew up and loved as children, and as
Fucking casual.
as has happened
Normies yeah, no.
as has happened
Yeah,
with their new canon in general. It's the same thing. It's you know, but that's why I'm
Yeah,
pessimistic about
one of
it.
the ways I've seen it put is canon has the same lows, but gets to reach the same highs
Hmm.
as like
Yeah.
that's one of the ways I've like there is some stuff from new canon I like. I enjoyed Rebels. I loved the Mandalorian.
How did you like
But
Rebels? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
am I a heretic now? Is that it?
How I couldn't get past the third episode.
Oh, season 1 is definitely
It hurt.
slow, but
I was physically struggling to get past just like 2 minutes of content with that stuff. I was just like, oh, it
there's
hurts.
definitely some eye rolling stuff. Oh,
Just
look, okay,
ugh.
okay. This comment actually. Speaking of Jedi Knight James Lunagazer says, "Speaking of Jedi Academy, I have major respect for Cal Katarn as a worthy opponent. He kicked my butt about 7 or 9 times on the dark side enemy. He's definitely worth of his title as Battle Master." Kyle Katarn, I loved back in the day when Chuck Norris jokes were a thing. I loved
Yeah.
the variants that people did with Kyle Katarn. Like for example, his 2 Briar pistols are named. He's suing Del Rey because his 2 Briar pistols are named Legacy and the Force. Um, Al-Katarn tried to shave once. The remnants of that are called Beskar. Uh, there were a couple other great ones. I'll see if I can find them.
That's great.
No,
But
man,
yeah,
I feel old.
I
Fucking
was
Chuck
hoping
Norris
for a. Oh, that's another reason why I'm fearful for this, because they were before the option of a remake was put forth. Uh, they wanted to do a remaster, and when they approached Lucasfilm Games, they said no. That's why I'm fearful.
Lucasfilm
Okay,
Games told them no.
remaster, remake, redux. That term by remaster, you're saying just updated graphics as
Yes,
opposed
they were
to
Yeah.
going to remaster
so
initially they
just
wanted
change the
to
textures and lighting and whatever.
yeah, kind of like what they did with Republic Commando and the Jedi Knight games, the Aspire remasters,
Ah,
where it's the
okay.
same game, they just made it look prettier and a little bit more modern. And that's what I
Oh,
was hoping that they would do, and the fact that they're doing a remake opens the possibilities for all of my greatest fears to come true.
so
Hmm.
speaking of what things, so I had this question asked to me about a couple weeks ago. By some of the players in my Star Wars campaign that I'm running right now, and they said, because they know I'm staunchly anti Disney anything, any new canon. So they asked me, he's like, what is one thing you wouldn't want them to touch, as far as like remaking or canonizing or anything like that? And I said, any of the Republic Commando novels, do not touch them.
No, they're not going to touch them.
Do not touch them.
Filoni's already retconned those
Into
to
that.
high hell. They will not fit in the new canon.
Are you? It doesn't matter if they fit into the new canon or not. I don't think Disney even cares what fits and what doesn't.
Not anymore, no.
Yeah,
Fair. That's a
with
fair
with the
assessment.
new Star Wars Visionary show, it feels like they're trying to be more and more obscure about where their shows kind of take place, and I
No,
feel
okay. Well, no, that's a little. Play devil's advocate. It's just like another Infinities type thing. I don't think it's like.
I don't think those are explicitly supposed to be canon. I think they're
Oh,
No.
for those in the audience who don't know, Infinities was the term used previously to refer to non-canon materials within the Star Wars expanded universe.
Yeah, I don't think the Vision stuff is supposed to be canon. I think it's just them wanting to have anime Star Wars for once.
I was never saying it was canon. I was saying they're blurring the lines of what fits into canon and what doesn't by making this.
Okay.
Which if you're gonna do that, side note, why not just make more stuff inside the expanded universe? Like let the authors go back and finish their stories.
That's that
because
you do not want to get me started. Why
that would be
Christ.
That would be admitting defeat.
Sword of the Jedi
content and Star Wars issue 108. That's nice and all. That but not enough.
By them doing that,
it's like that whole meme of the adult like holding the kid in the pool, and then the other one like drowning. It's like
there's a skeleton at the bottom of the ocean.
The skeleton is us. We're the EU fans that we're just please, we just want content, please.
I like that. I like the one when they're on the gallows and it's like, no, how could you just take all of my favorite characters and stuff and say that they never existed? And then it says the EU and it's above James Franco and he's like, first time.
First time. Yeah, I don't think. One, Visions I'm okay with seeing because again I may not like anime, but I do like anime styles. I think that'd be okay to kind of see. As for everything else, I'm just like, Like, okay, they're new TV shows. So, The Mandalorian, they've already said they're ending that at season 3, which a lot of people groaned and were sad about. I actually say good.
That seems really early. I don't even watch the show, and that seems pretty early.
Well, the way it kind of goes is like all the episodes were like less than 30 minutes, basically.
TCW went on for fucking ever, and that was only supposed to be a 3-year war.
Yeah, so
I feel maybe that's a fear on Filoni's part because he also ended Rebels kind of because maybe he was so like because TCW got canceled without.
Well, I think it's
that was due to the buyout. If the buyout didn't happen, that wouldn't have gotten canceled.
Yes.
No, but what I'm saying is, I thinking just like Rebels, he wants to end it on his own terms, as
and I think
in the case of any
good.
form of in any form, it wants to avoid a kind of higher up executive issues that can arise.
Yeah, it's finishing out the story before it can, before it starts becoming a milking cow.
Filoni is their cash cow, though. He could literally just film dirt for 20 minutes, and people will love it.
But perhaps, I feel people give too much credit to Filoni for The Mandalorian. We really have to give it to Jon Favreau.
Yeah. Jon Favreau is a legend.
He's a legend, and I really hate the amount of people, like, even the people who hate Filoni give him too much credit for The Mandalorian. It's like, no. Stop giving Filoni credit for something that's great. Filoni was only co-directing The Mandalorian. That was Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau is a hero and a legend for that. And I think Favreau is smart enough to recognize that, hey, this story is a 3-part story. You have the first part, which is him finding the kid. Second part, he gives the kid over, not even spoiling who that goes to. And then the third part is, I don't know. I don't know. I had a theory, though.
I don't want to interrupt. Please continue. Sorry.
Okay, so do y'all want to hear my... Okay. This is a theory that I have to actually give to my local DM, my local Battletech DM, because he came up with this wonderful, glorious idea.
Should we put a spoiler tag before...
No. Anything that I'm going to talk about has been exposed to the world a dozen times over.
Okay.
By now. So, we know that there's a book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
We know that there's a season 3 of The Mandalorian.
There's going to be Ahsoka. Ranger of the New Republic may or may not have been canceled because
Aren't they
Gina
gonna
Carano.
do a Rogue Squadron show too?
Yeah, they're doing a
Oh,
Rogue
that's a
Squadron.
movie.
So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's a movie. So here's what I was
Oh,
thinking.
no.
I have to point out, Boba Fett in The Mandalorian in the new EU is actually more akin to his Mandalorian roots than he was in Legends. Because one, he didn't learn Mandalorian until pretty late in Legends, basically.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't
didn't-
identify himself as a Mando until 24 ABY.
He didn't.
Right.
He didn't even really learn Mandalorian. Even by the Legacy of the Force novels, he had to use his helmet translator when people were talking, and he was thinking to himself, like, that's the ultimate sign of defeat right there.
Whereas in this, the season 2 of The Mandalorian, he is showing things written in Mandoa. He is reading out things written in Mandoa.
They actually speak Mandoa in the show.
He doesn't.
No,
speak it,
there's writing.
there's
Okay.
writing using the actual Mandoa text.
Okay.
It was if you recall, it was that thing that also confirmed the existence of Jaster Muriel.
Yeah, you
Yes.
showed me that.
Yes. So he's already like showing off, hey, I am Mando. I am Mandalorian. This is my father's armor. He fought in the Mandalorian Civil Wars, and his father before him. This is my armor. And that's what gets Din Djarin to be like, yeah, that belongs to you. So what we're seeing here is one of Boba Fett that cares more for the Mandalorians than he did in Legends.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know, at least earlier in life.
Yeah.
And then we see
in Legends, he did become the Manda-LORE.
The Manda-LORE.
But that was much later.
Much later. And then we have Bo-Katan, who is wanting to become the Manda-LORE. So what if the Book of Boba Fett is building up Boba Fett's faction, and season 3 is building up Bo-Katan's faction?
Oh, you're thinking yet another Civil War?
Yet another Mandalorian Civil War.
This is one of our favorite things to do.
It's one of the Mandalorian's favorite things to do. It's characteristically Mandalorian. It's characteristically Mandoade.
There's only one Mandalorian Civil War in Legends.
Oh, two.
Well,
what's the second one?
The Great Schism and then the Mandalorian Civil War. The Great Schism was back during the time of the Old Republic when Clan Kadera broke away from the rest of the Mandalorian.
Oh,
because I forgot about the hidden
SWTOR. I haven't played SWTOR, so I don't know that.
Okay, yeah, the other two are from SWTOR. Yeah, no, one, clans Kadera, Ordo, and I think Beroya rebelled against the current Mandalore.
Yes, because they wanted to follow the teachings of Cantor Ordo.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And then the second one was Shea Vizsla's faction.
Yes.
Again, the mainline Mandos versus the Hidden Chain, which were a group of.
I remember.
These were introduced only a couple months ago, I think.
Yeah, I researched that conflict in my Clan Varad video. I was able to.
Yeah.
Right.
So like SWTOR, I kind of learn as I go. Somebody asks me, "Oh, hey Ted, can you do this from SWTOR?" It's like, okay, well, I gotta spend. I hate using Wikipedia, but it's the only really source I have for SWTOR, the stuff that happens in SWTOR. I could play it, but then I think my girlfriend would be very angry at me because I would never spend any time with her. So.
But yeah, so I think it would, and also we have to account all the different times the Mandalorians just fought inter-house conflicts, not even going into full civil wars,
That's
just
not
like skirmish.
Civil War. That's like a Tuesday.
That's like a Tuesday, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, so leading to that would be, and you could have it be a movie. You could have the two culminate into a movie called a Star Wars story, Manda-LORE. And it's just about the fight over the planet Manda-LORE.
That would be pretty fucking badass.
Right? That would be cool. And, personally for me, I would like to see a Boba Fett get the Darksaber and win.
Same.
Or I'm perfectly okay with Din, because he's kind of the middle guy. He wants Mandalore to go back into prosperity. That's what he was doing before he found Baby Yoda. He was trying to build up the Mandalorian enclave that he was with. could go into a 3-way war.
Maybe. I guess we'll have to, that is very interesting spec. I like interesting ideas.
This is why I like the Legends Mandos better, because after a
Much
while,
less, more straightforward in Legends.
well, no, after a while, they figured out. Okay, so we keep having these people, these shitty leaders, take up Mandalore's mask. Why don't we just get rid of the mask, and we'll start picking people based on whether they're good leaders or not. That's where.
Yeah.
They
figured out a little more.
And to answer, there was a question a while back I saw in the chat what I thought of the Darksaber. So this kind of answers that question a little bit. The Darksaber's kind of silly because it's basically whoever ends up with that Darksaber.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing as Mandalore's mask. You don't know who you're gonna get who ends up with it, and sometimes they could be shitty. Like, for example, Darth Maul got the Darksaber. He became the Mandalore, and true Legends Mandalorians would not have followed a Force user. They're extremely distrustful of Force users. That wouldn't have been allowed to happen. But because he has the magic stick, oh shit, I guess we gotta follow him now.
We got the magic stick.
Unless we're talking about the Hutt super laser. That's a different Darksaber. Haha.
That's a bit different.
That's a big stick. That's a big stick diplomacy.
But yeah, I think that would be the best way to finish off the whole Mandalorian series, I think, and Boba Fett series as well. It's a satisfying conclusion. Do I think they're going to do it? No, I don't think they are, and that's just the sad part.
I don't know.
I would love it if they did.
I don't know where they're going with this new canon. I really feel like
I don't know.
I really feel like in 10 years they're just going to reboot it all over again. They're just going to run out of things to cover.
I mean, hasn't for the record audience, well, I assume you already know since you're watchers of Delta here, but I know we are part of a segment of the fan base that is very much more Legends focused. I am personally all right with some bits of canon continuity, whatever, but when it comes to choosing between the two of them, Legends every.
As I've said before, I'm not hostile to the new canon. I just don't give a shit about it. I'd rather read Legends all day. I'll stay under my EU rock, thank you.
Oh, it looks like if I had to go confirm this just because I wanted to make 100% sure. Apparently, George Lucas is getting creative control back.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like that's been a rumor since The Last Jedi.
May 31st, 2021. George Lucas taking back creative control of Star Wars.
That wasn't published by We Got This Covered by any chance, was it?
Inside the Magic.
I never heard of that one.
There's another one from Deseret.com, IndieWire, WeGotThisCovered.com, Quora.com.
We Got This Covered is notorious rumor engine. And
Odyssey.com.
A lot of the fans have been like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy's going to get fired and George Lucas is going to take back creative control after Last Jedi. That's what they've been hoping for forever, and I never saw that happening.
It's like, yeah, no, I don't.
Apparently George was not happy with...
No, he wasn't. He called them
that I can believe.
White slavers.
Yeah. So let's see. When Disney first took over the Star Wars franchise, many of the fans were nervous about what would happen to their favorite movie. Now, after multiple movies and television series, fan reaction is mixed. Yeah, you could say that again. Though most still long for the days of the original trilogy. Luckily, those fans may soon get their wish, as George Lucas is reportedly planning to take back control of the franchise and working on a new trilogy.
I feel like that would be on official,
Yeah, if it's not on StarWars.com, I'm hitting the doubt button.
Yeah. But yeah,
I'll believe it when Kennedy herself says it.
Or Bob Iger, I guess. But
are you kidding me? I wouldn't believe anything that either of them say.
George Lucas is also old as shit, and he seems pretty done with Star Wars even after Revenge of the Sith.
I mean,
He's 77. He's not that
No,
old.
people keep I don't know. Like with the disaster of the sequel trilogy that we got, people are wanting any form of alternative. But then you do see his like plans with it. It's like, yeah, no, we're going to a microscopic midichlorian universe, and I'm like, I don't think I would have liked that either.
What do we want more? Neither.
Oh right. Oh, and then as I went in my, I'm totally not segueing
Shilling.
this into shilling myself in my Star Wars iceberg video. A wink, wink.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah, no,
plug
he seemed to-
yourselves, please.
No, yeah, every time he's been asked about what his plans were for the sequel trilogy, he's been had a different answer. So yeah, one of them he was talking about the micro universe. Another time he talked about Darth Maul with Darth Talon, because he has a massive boner for Darth Talon. I mean, who doesn't? But
Who doesn't?
Two
he's
different
wanted
time periods. That's like
Exactly.
Abraham Lincoln hanging out with George Washington.
Exactly.
Let it happen. Let it happen. We're at the point. Let it happen.
Just because they're on the mountain together doesn't mean they existed at the same time.
Let it happen.
Yeah. He's involvement in many projects wanting to put Darth Maul and Talon together. Among them, his Among Us. No, sorry.
Among
Us.
Ding 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 ding. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
God.
sorry.
Small segue. I was at Walmart earlier.
Oh
and
no!
I saw an Among Us blow up costume, and I'm like, God, I want to be dead.
We live in 1984.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Oh, we live in 1984.
No, basically every time he's been asked about it, he has a different answer. I don't know what actually. So yeah, because like he, as Travis says in the chat, George wanted a game with Maul and Darth Talon. Yes, we've actually seen some concept art of that has been released. Some actual footage of that game has been released.
I'm so glad.
Although that very early stage.
I am so.
Yes, it would have been.
Hang me from the rafters if you want. I'm so glad it got canceled.
I picture it
continuity-wise. That's a nightmare.
I just picture it like if it does happen, historians look back on it, just like Darth Maul and Talon doing everything together. Historians like, and they were friends.
I mean, it's although I do believe that like it's like it was actually going to be a clone of Maul, yada yada, but it's like okay, George's been notorious. People have kind of rose-tinted glasses looking back on, and not to excuse the hate he got. That was very warranted, but people have the rose-tinted glasses looking back. Everything, it was always great. All of his mandates were great. It's like
it's like when people
look at what he did with Darth Maul. When you look at what he did with forcing the change late in 1313's development, so they had to like backtrack. Moraband. Ugh, don't get me started. But no, George.
It's like
have an immense respect for the but he's not a flawless storyteller that the people have been looking back with.
It's like when people are like, man, I wish I lived in the 50s. I was born in the wrong era. It's like, really? You want to live in an era where women didn't have rights?
Are you sure about that?
Where you could
I wouldn't mind going back to the 80s.
Be beaten in the street for being black,
I wouldn't mind. Look, let me go to a disco at least once. I want to go to a disco.
Meh.
Yeah,
like my chance to ever go to a disco was shot by COVID. Oh, there goes the monetization.
No, you said the word. You said the word.
Don't say the C word.
No. This YouTube feds just break into my house.
While we're at
it, surrounded.
While we're at it, I just drew a Space Marine. I am now putting it on the picture on the screen.
So yeah, so and then
The
you've
GW
also hacked.
legal team.
Wait, no, hold on. No. There's that, and then you've also hacked your Switch. So the Nintendo ninjas fight the GW Spec Ops breaking in, fight the
Oh no,
the
GW.
YouTube execs breaking in. So
If you've ever
your house
seen-
becomes a corporate battleground. This is Ancapistan. In a nutshell.
If you've ever seen the Flash Gets GW animation, they'll just they'll just send stealth jets.
that was okay. So Flash Kits was the thing that actually like.
They were the first
So-
Warhammer YouTubers to get cancelled, really.
Well, I mean, they're still doing the Warhammer stuff. That's the funny thing.
No,
Yeah, they
Oh, man,
just came out with a recent 40K like
did they?
40K versus furries. Yeah,
Oh no, I saw those.
yeah. That
Those haven't
Yeah.
gotten taken down yet.
no,
Really?
Interesting.
yeah, no, they're still up because they said
Suffer not the mutant to live.
suffer not the mutant. Oh, I'm kind of cringe. Thanks, Travis. I embrace the cringe. No, the funny thing is that Flashcase was the thing that actually got me into 40K. Finally, I was like, man, I might get into this 40K thing, and then I started watching. It was the Furry Apocalypse one. I was like, Black Templars. I'm going Black Templars. I must be Black Templars.
Avenge me, brother!
Avenge me, brother! Brother, right.
No mercy.
No mercy. Yeah. So yeah, I have a Black Templars army still sitting in my corner.
I
Yeah,
have
that-
I
some.
would get into 40K figures if I wasn't broke.
if I wasn't broke.
I have
See,
some
I
Legion
will get
snow
into
troopers
40K.
in my shelf that I swore I was gonna paint. I thought, oh, these guys are white. They should be easy to paint, and I just have not painted them. They're just still sitting there.
You want an easy way to paint them?
Yeah,
Stupid way to paint them?
yeah.
Spray can white, and then just take a black, like Vallejo ink or something like that, and boom, done.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. I was at
yeah.
a hobby store in Seattle, and I was when I was on vacation, and they had some Legion figures there, but they didn't have any of the paints. Because on the box it says, "Oh, to paint this, you need this paint and this paint and this paint."
No,
And
no.
they don't have any of the Legion paints here. They have plenty of Citadel, but I don't really know what translates.
So the thing is, one, I would never get Citadel because it's just expensive. Like for a little pot of paint like that, it's like $8. Don't. But get like a spray can of just like white spray can paint.
Mhm.
Get you a Vallejo black ink, and then get like a black wash. There's a difference between a black ink and a black wash. The ink will actually, it has more pigment to it, so it's a bit dark. It's a lot darker, and it actually sticks
Mhm.
to what you painted on. And then once you have everything painted, like you have the blasters painted, and then you have your eyes painted, all that dried, then you take your wash, just dip a giant brush into the wash, and just slather that all
Well,
over
I've been
them.
meaning to get black wash anyways because I want to do that to my armor, but I keep upgrading my armor.
Yeah, and like it was super easy to do my battle droids. So I have like 2 full squads of battle droids, so it's like 16 battle droids.
So you just spray painted them tan?
I spray painted them. No, I actually spray painted them white, and then I took a Citadel contrast khaki,
Mhm.
and just dabbed them into that, and
Huh.
then went through and did like accent colors over them. But that's about it. It's super easy to paint.
Huh. All right.
Roger.
Yeah, I want to get into Legion and I want to get into Armada, but I have nobody to play with, and I'm too awkward to go down to my local hobby store and be like, "Hey guys, anybody playing Legion or Armada?"
Do
So
a scarily good stereotypical nerd
Hi,
accent.
hey guys,
Guys,
you guys play Legion?
Well,
I play Legion.
one of my favorite
Um,
characters from Robot Chicken was the nerd kid, so I would do him all the time for my friends at lunch in high
oh
school.
my god, it's a tauntaun!
my God, George Lucas.
Oh my god, George Lucas! Um, yeah, no, it's funny because uh, Sam, the next time he comes down to my location, I'm definitely playing Legion with him.
Please
Um,
teach me.
yes, and I will also give you your own Legion mini because
I am still so honored. I'm like,
Oh yeah, when
whenever
are you
anyone
making
makes
mine?
something of.
I still I've been trying to find like the orange paint for it.
It's Harvest Orange if that helps.
Yeah, it's trying to find the Vallejo version of it because it's one cheaper and two I love Vallejo paints. They're just
I
great
use
quality paints.
Rust-Oleum, so
Oh, hey, Rust-Oleum gang, let's low quality, high five, let's go.
Yeah, so
my best car is
my armor
also.
looks pretty good. I'm happy with it.
it
I don't know
does.
why people shit on Rust-Oleum.
No,
I don't.
Rust-Oleum is good for armor and stuff like that. It's not good for minis.
Oh no, I wouldn't use it for
Yeah,
minis. No,
yeah,
I use it for my armor and to like spray paint my lawn furniture.
yeah. So it's like I need to find like the right paint for the minis, but I do have to say it's a lot of fun because I run, of course, I run a Mandalorian army in Legion, and basically what that means is I run 2 squads of clone troopers that just look like Mandos, and then I have to use the Mandalorian resistance. Yeah, actually,
So there was like a 3D printed printing site somebody sent me that they do a lot of Legion and Armada stuff.
yeah.
Um, and like I thought about like getting like you might find like figures and different like accessories there if I
Hmm.
could just remember the name of it. But I saw some like Armada stuff there. Like they had like a Dreadnought class heavy cruiser. They had like
Oh,
yeah, like the stuff that you can't get in the base Armada sets. And this was also before the Republic sets came out too. So they had like Venators and Acclimators. So
Yep.
I had thought about it for a while.
I have yet to play Armada. I want to, but I'm also like
I've
they
played
don't
it.
have any. They don't have any Mandalorian stuff, so they have the Crusader, and that's about it. And I'm like,
Well, on this site you can also get a Keldabe and the aggressor
what?
the aggressor class. Yeah, I'll sift
Keldabe.
through my Discord messages.
Reporting.
I know which friend sent it to me, so I'll sift through his messages with me on Discord,
I'm
and when I
I'm
find it, I'll
scanning
send
for
it
it
to you.
now. Oh, there's a Keldabe. There's an actual like Etsy guy. His name is Keldabe Arms. That's cool. I love that. Oh,
Oh,
these are
wait.
all just
I think that may
these
have
are
been the guy I got one of my blasters from. Sorry. Anyway.
yeah. He has blasters. He's got 3D printed blasters. He's got thermal detonators, which are freaking great. Oh, I love it.
Oh, so, some of my merc friends. One of my What he has a magnetic thermal det, so he just like clamps it to places. Like it's the. And he has a metallic set actually, so he just clamps it like as a joke. He would like put it on his arm. Hey, we got.
I wish I had enough money for metal armor.
Oh,
Someday
jeez.
I will upgrade to that.
I have a
I
buddy
know a
who's a
blacksmith,
metals.
so
Oh, there you
Yeah, I
go.
have a buddy
he's a
who's
friend.
a
Kermort clan represent. Any mercs in the no?
yeah. I have a buddy who's dedicated to making a Mandalorian suit of armor purely out of steel.
Ha!
Ooh.
Good
I'm
luck
just
walking
like,
around in that.
yeah. I told him I was like, good luck with that, buddy. He goes, I know it's gonna be heavy. I know every possible thing wrong with it. I'm doing it anyways. I'm like,
Dude,
you go for it.
Closest thing there is to actual Beskar, or well,
Yeah.
besides titanium, maybe.
just in my
Take
ABS
it.
plastic kit, I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this all damn day.
It's so hot.
When I go to cons, I usually go at least all 3 days, so that way I can do one day in my armor, and then when I get hot after like 4 hours, I can just go back to the hotel, and then I'll do the second day out of armor, and then the third day I'll go back in armor.
Luckily, I handle heat well. I am Brazilian.
I'm
Quack, quack,
from
quack, quack, quack.
Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. I have gills.
I am from the Arctic Northeast, so I do not handle heat well.
Yeah, I
I handle
imagine you're.
cold pretty well, but not heat.
I can't do cold at all. Ooh, man.
Look, cold
I
is
will.
easy enough for me to solve. I just keep putting on layers until I'm not cold anymore.
Yeah, when it's
Layers
hot, you
like
can't
an
take off.
onion.
There's only so many layers you can take off, you know?
Yeah. I take off my skin. I'm still hot.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but Delta, Parker Parrish is asking if you'd do a video on the Mando gods at some point.
Yeah, it's on my
Ooh.
list.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Kadharangir, Hodharan, and Rasam. I really like the how in Supernatural.
I was just about to ask if you've read it, because that was what my brain immediately went to.
I really like that it elaborated that they were like deified and like that they were actually ancient Tong warlords, that like Arasum was actually the one that wanted peace with the Gel, and then Kadharangir was the most warlike of said leaders.
Yeah,
I
I greatly appreciated that, and I can't wait till they come out, or till he comes out with the full set. And
oh, dude, I am so I actually, did I tell you I actually score when it comes out?
Yeah, you're doing an interview.
I actually have an interview. Yeah, with him.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, the author Joe Bongiorno. He's
Buongiorno.
awesome. He's freaking awesome. He wrote Star Wars Supernatural Encounters, the trial and transformation of Arhul Hextraphon, which it's basically the Silmarillion of Star Wars. It goes into I could gush about it all day, but it's deep lore shit, basically.
Deep lore.
Deep as deep as lore gets. You will
The deep core lore.
So
deep core lore. You'll find it at BIS. You'll find it in the Emperor's Storehouse.
2 questions from Jane's Luna Gazer. I will put this over to you two guys because you actually would know more about this than I would. Slight what-if question. Since Etane from Republic Commando novels and Scout share the same appearance, do you think that they could have been sisters/cousins in the same order?
I believe they met each other, right? When Etane spoke to the Altesian Jedi,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, they did. They did meet. And Scout was also in the TCW tie-in books too, like was it Gambit and Siege?
Right, the one with
Nicholas the Ming.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Other question?
Yeah, you've got a
Are
question.
you?
I'm not. Oh, sorry. Please.
Are y'all still? No. If you're still elaborating on that question, please let me know.
I don't know if they had if there was any implication of any relation there. But,
I don't think so. I think. Let's see. Scout first appeared in Dark Rendezvous, right? At least that's where I first saw her. Was in Dark Rendezvous.
Yeah.
And that wasn't written by Karen Travis. I forget who it was written by.
What's her name? Kalisbeth Inwandung Esterhaz.
Something extremely long and impronounceable. That's why I'm like, thank you for giving her a nickname.
Let's see. First appearance, Yoda Dark Rendezvous, correct. Which was Sean Stewart.
Next question is from James Luna Gazer as well. What would you guys be like if you were Jedi or Sith appearance or personality wise?
Appearance? Sorry, no, you guys go first.
I'm probably Sith. I'll be honest. I'm probably a Sith.
Most people are Sith. I mean, I'm pretty quick to give in to my my anger, and I'm not even like even an angry person, but I'm just impatient.
Well, the Jedi way is just impossible for a human being. Like, yeah, maybe an alien could do it if an alien didn't have emotions, but humans have emotions. The Jedi way is not possible for a human to maintain forever.
See, that's the thing. when it especially in these past couple years, like I've really started looking into like philosophy and stuff, and even like in relation to Star Wars and whatever. And it's like
Always a bad
so
path.
much, so much. You say it's possible, and I would argue, yeah, for most people, well, especially the flawed view that like the late prequel era Jedi Order had, but it's very comparable to a lot of Buddhist thought in terms of letting go of attachments and whatnot. But um, yeah, in my earlier years, I would definitely be leaning more dark side, but I was a very emotional teenager. Gee, who would have guessed?
I mean, I'm
Was it?
just straight.
But
Young Tad makes
I'm
me
just
cringe.
straight mercenary.
I was an absolute cringe lord. Don't you worry, my friend.
Oh,
But
I was edgelord.
I've really mellowed out in like ever since things going to college and whatever.
That
like
happens to
I'm
most people in their mid-20s.
yeah, I'm just a chill ass dude. I keep my emotions under control. I'd say I'm more Jedi. But aesthetically, I am very very Sith. I wear all black, and a little red all day.
I just can't do the celibate shit.
I got no, I got dark hair, dark eyes. I'm very very Sith.
See, the thing is, I never. Okay, so in my journey with Star Wars, I never liked the Jedi, nor did I like the Sith. I always liked the Stormtroopers, the Clone Troopers, and just like
They've always been my favorite facet as well.
The
so
people
yeah,
that
that's
have superpowers.
I didn't like the people who had superpowers. They just seemed weird to me. The only ones I cared about were Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Not even Anakin. No, I liked Darth Vader and I liked Obi-Wan, and that was it. I didn't really like Luke all that much either.
Teenage Tad definitely identified with Anakin because Anakin was basically the stereotypical teenage angst mindset.
Well, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, Teenage Sombraptor was an absolute simp, as was it, So I was able to sympathize with him on that front, but as I've matured, I'm much more. I like to think I'm much more.
In high school, I felt a lot like the world was out to get me, so I identified a lot with Anakin. But as I grew,
hopefully you never had his lust for power and whatnot, and you're not gonna go.
Oh God, no!
You're not gonna go cut up any preschools.
There's a reason why I wrote Tad to be a hermit living on the outskirts of Keldabe amongst all these books and scrolls. All the other Mandalorians are like, who the fuck is this guy?
Next question. Did you guys see or know of someone doing an audiobook style reading of Republic Commander books?
Yep, that's
I did not.
Josh Adams. I've linked him I've linked him in my videos before.
I'll have to check that out.
If you go to my top 10 Star Wars EU novels videos, I link it in the description there.
Will do.
Or just just go on YouTube, type in Josh Adams. He's got a Boba Fett what do you call it? YouTube avatar. And so he's finished Hard Contact, and he's on like chapter 4 of what do you call it? 000. I used to listen to it, like he used to upload weekly, and I used to listen to it every day, but since he was on like a little hiatus and then just started recently uploading again. So I have a lot to catch up on for 000.
I was actually involved in an animated adaptation of Hard Contact. By this guy named Kabur Tal. To my knowledge, he's still doing it. I dropped out of it because life just got too hectic. I couldn't make that sort of commitment. Mm-hmm. But I did. I was doing Wallen Val. Hokan's voice, but dropped out.
Next question is, hey, Mandalore / Tad Larkin, has the idea to cover Shadows of the Empire come to mind?
What do you mean? Like the
I
story
guess
involved in it?
I believe so. Yes.
I mean, I'll cover it eventually. Not in this timeline video, but in the next timeline overview video, we'll be talking about the Rebellion era, and I'll no doubt cover generally what happens in that novel.
Next question is, does something like the world between worlds exist in Legends? I'm not familiar with this concept. Can someone please educate?
Me neither, really. I know the basics of it. I know it as like a bullshit cop out to keep Ahsoka alive in Rebels.
I
So
have a
Dave Filoni
more
can continue
favorable
stroking
view
his
of it,
giant
but
Ahsoka boner.
well, thing is, you're not wrong,
Not wrong.
but from a certain point of view.
From a
But
certain point of view.
My extremely pessimistic and flawed point of view, yes.
yeah. So no, there's references to it in Supernatural Counters actually, but the world between worlds, to those who don't know, is an area existing outside of time and space, like very much linked to the Force, and as like infinite gateways and like paths. It's a very interesting
so
concept.
path
I think was done well. Some people thought it was bullshit. I respect both views. The so no, there's no equivalent to it, but there's definitely other dimensions such as other space, which which is another alternate dimension, which I say again, Supernatural Encounters elaborates a lot on that. Nudge, nudge, go read it when the new version comes out.
I want the
Just
artwork so bad. I need it for my channel.
oh my god, it's beautiful. The artwork is beautiful. Oh my god.
If
But
anybody is in the tier of his patrons and wants to send me the artwork, that'd be great. My Discord is linked. You can even private message me. I'll take it.
yeah.
Darth Lord 1997 has a interesting question. Would it be a huge deal to any of you if canon was to bring Jodo Cast in over from Legends? I probably have the most moderate view on this one. I don't care.
Like I said too, I don't really give a crap about the new canon.
Yeah.
It irks me when they take popular things from the expanded universe, things that I would have liked to see on the big screen done correctly, and then do them incorrectly. That's what irks me. The fact
Yeah.
that it's merely the fact that I could have had this, but in my storyline, if history went differently, you know.
In my eyes, I don't know. I don't. Jodo Kaz, he's not a big. I see. There's tons of space for. Yeah, no, he was just an imposter. Bum 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 bum.
Get
No,
it.
sorry. The impostor, Boba Fett. Yeah, like because he's not a big name. There wasn't a lot of there's just this backstory for that he was a Rebel Spec Force guy, and then there was Twin Engines of Destruction, which was a story I love. So long as those happened, sure, whatever. Jodocast, yeah, there's space for him in canon.
There's
It's not
so many, like, I'll go on Wikipedia every now and then to like look up the spelling of something, and I'll notice that you know there's a legends tab on something or there's a canon tab on something I never thought was in the new canon, like Saint
it's just
Pestage.
a sentence.
Saint Pestage, for example. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know he was canon.
But oh, yo, Posh. Okay, Posh is asking me, have I showed everyone that Halo 3 classic weapons mod on Halo MCC?
Ooh,
It is
I've seen parts of
amazing.
that. Yeah.
Oh, the canonically, that's the way it should have been, because of Forward Unto Dawn, I know it's like art style, blah blah blah. It is amazing. Let's see, any more questions? Question: what if Attack of the Clones was episode 1 and Labyrinth of Evil was episode 2, since Phantom Menace is kind of out of place with the prequel trilogy plot-wise. Does episode 2 or 3 have clones?
I wouldn't say
That's
Phantom Menace
no,
is out of place.
no. I Phantom Menace is definitely not out of place because it tells you where we find Anakin.
Yeah.
It sets up the entire cast for the next 2 movies.
And
Yeah,
like
I
the
love
R2D2 and C3PO are in all the movies. It explains
Yeah.
it doesn't really explain R2's origins. I'd like to, I like it if they expanded on that a bit, but we get 3PO's origins.
Yeah,
yeah,
it kind of builds up
and
everybody's
Labyrinth
origin.
of Evil, I love that book more than I can put into words.
It doesn't
But
need
I
its
don't
movie.
think
It
it
doesn't need a
works
movie.
as a movie. Yeah, because it's one of the nice things about books is you get in character mental, what's the word, interior monologues,
Yeah,
you see their state of mind and whatever, and that was one of the great things about
there
Matthew
are
Stover.
there are some movies.
Sorry, or James Luceno. James
No.
Luceno. Yes, sorry.
Well, Matthew Stover does the internal monologues in the Revenge of the Sith book.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, but what I mean is, and the story itself, it's a great story as well, but it's missing a handful of the key players in the hypothetical other 2 films. Padme doesn't show up.
She shows up.
She shows up
Labyrinth
just
of
on
Evil?
his.
And Revenge of in Labyrinth of Evil.
She?
There's a whole scene where they're on a maglev train and Grievous is like ripping through it, and Mace Windu's trying to stop him, and there's a point where a vulture droid comes down in like walk patrol mode and is like about to just like shoot Padme, but flies off.
Okay. Then I rescind my previous statement.
No, she's in it. Yoda appears in it. Mace Windu plays a big part in it.
Absolutely, yes. No, the latter 2 for sure.
There's connections
But,
to Shatterpoint in it a little bit too, which I appreciated.
It's funny because I'm sitting over here with 2 Star Wars
I still
lore
nonetheless
masters.
think it works better as a book.
It does work better.
Yeah.
Some things just can't be adapted.
Yeah.
You can try all you want to adapt certain books to like TV shows or I will say this: most books are better to be adapted as a TV show versus a movie.
Agreed.
Because you can get more in.
There are some books that just can't be adapted.
Yeah. It's too dense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I find it funny because I'm sitting in between two Star Wars lore masters. I'm over here. I'm like, I know Star Wars tactics, technology, and Mandalorian lore to a T. I know clones. And I know stormtroopers to a T. Even down to what their armor can and cannot withstand. I don't know anything else about the Jedi or anything like that. I just know the politics.
Listen,
like
I work a desk job. I listen
we have
to a
similar
lot of
specification.
audiobooks.
Specialization, sorry.
Yeah, I'm very specialized in the military, like the actual grounded militaristic side of Star Wars. Like I could tell you that a stormtrooper's armor can actually withstand a blaster shot to its torso.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on power set.
Depending on most power sets, it takes a pretty high powered blaster bolt to actually pierce through the armor.
That's one of the things that I always, it's when I watched A New Hope with my dad, for example. He was like, so what's the point of stormtrooper armor if they still just die in one shot? I'm like, well, Han's blaster is actually an illegal. The DL-44 is actually illegal to own.
Everything Han owns is illegal.
Power.
Well, also,
your audio cut out for a second. You said what's illegal?
Oh, I said everything Han owns is illegal.
Well,
yeah, true.
This is true.
Half the shit on the Millennium Falcon is illegal.
Yeah,
it is true.
Actually, it was stated. I can't remember which book. It was it might have been the Millennium Falcon book. It was stated that one of the tech chiefs was looking over the Millennium Falcon, and he's like, "It'd be easier to list what's legal here than what isn't."
Yeah. And so it's like, and to anyone who asks the question, it's like, what's the point of Stormtrooper Clone Trooper armor? It's like, it keeps you alive. Have you ever been shot in a plate carrier? Yeah, it's going to put you on your back. You're going to be hurting, but you're going to live. And that's the point.
Not to mention the, being able to, operate in vacuum, being able to, having your contained air supply, having comms, having thermal. There's a ton of benefits.
Also, the fact that the plate armor aspect of a Stormtrooper is actually kinetic, like ballistics proof. So it's like slug throwers and such like that are pretty much useless against Stormtrooper plate armor.
Well, there are gaps, hence
there are gaps.
But
I'm gonna say something controversial.
Go ahead. I've already yelled "fuck" at the top of my lungs.
Yep. So I think Episode 6 out of the original 6 movies is the weakest.
Most people agree with that.
Yeah, I don't see that as controversial.
I've met so many people who will say that all 3 of the prequels are worse than Episode 6, and I just like, no, you had teddy bears.
Prequel haters.
Those are prequel haters.
Oh, wait. Sorry. You think Episode 6 is weaker than all the prequels?
Yes.
Oh,
okay. Now those are fine.
Okay, yeah, that's a tiny bit controversial. I don't agree.
So here's my point. So you had me up at the first half, right? And like, okay, the plot to free Han Solo didn't work exactly as planned, but that's okay. You're going up against Jabba. You have to show that Jabba's actually fairly smart, and is pretty immune to the BS shenanigans that the rebels can come up with. That's fine. But then you get to Endor, and I'm sorry, but you have literally the 501st Legion. It has been stated that it was the 501st Legion that was there on Endor.
It was Tempest Force.
Yeah.
It was Tempest Force?
Was not the 501st.
I was told my entire life that it was the 501st because, anyways, you still have stormtroopers. You still have stormtroopers there that are supposed.
Himself says Legion of my finest troops. It's like,
Legion of my finest troops.
His
there.
finest troops, not Vader's finest troops.
Doesn't matter. It's the Emperor saying that. So it's like you have at least some sort of elite legion down on the planet, and they can't even fight against teddy bears. I'm sorry.
Okay. Now hold on.
I cannot believe
are basically bundles of muscle.
Have you read the Essential Guide to Warfare?
I can't believe that an Ewok is as strong as a Wookiee.
The Essential Guide to Warfare fixes it.
You realize that people tower over chimps. Chimps will annihilate you.
But the Ewoks aren't as fast as chimps. Chimps, will annihilate you because they're fast,
this
agile,
is a Stone
wicked.
Age civilization that is made of vicious fucking bears that eat people.
I just can't believe that they would beat the stormtroopers. Like I can imagine if they were.
Well, that's the whole point, though, isn't it? Because allegory for Vietnam. How the fuck did the Viet Cong repel the U.S. Army?
But you know what would have been better was the original right for that being Kashyyyk.
Oh, being Kashyyyk, yeah. I very much agree.
Everybody wants to see Wookiees ripping arms off of stormtroopers.
I would have loved that. The whole point that exists, the whole idea that there was an original right where there was Kashyyyk and there were 8-foot tall Wookiee furballs that could rip people's arms off. That was immediately like, oh, we could have had this, but then we get teddy bears. Well, gee, now I just feel ripped off.
But that, of course, that is because of, filming issues. Finding a bunch of short people is a lot easier than finding Peter Mayhew-sized people.
True, but you could have done something. You could have had any.
Like
you could have used force. Absolutely, or you could have had a different race of aliens that were superior. It just looks bad when it's a bunch of teddy bears.
That would
Dogri.
cool.
That would have been
I mean,
cool.
that's the whole point, though, isn't it? That you force you never. I mean, I don't know. That's fair.
No,
Your point is totally fair, but
you have a
I
fair
also,
point too.
from a thematic perspective, I don't have an issue with it.
No, yeah,
Thematic, yeah. From a thematic point, yeah, it's fine.
you
But
gotta
it
get
was
into
just
George's mindset when you think about it, because that was the theme he had in mind: the little guy trampling over the big, unstoppable, immovable force.
I just that 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 whole ending battle scene annoyed me, and it's just like, no,
I would have
I
liked
I
to have seen the rebel commandos do a little bit more too.
that would have been
That would
cool.
be cool. Yeah,
That would have been nice.
yeah.
Because like I
But
would
I
have
don't know.
loved
The
to
reason
see-
I just adore Return of the Jedi is mainly the concurrent part to the Battle of Endor, just the throne room is just
the
so
throne room
much
was
The
great.
space
emotional
battle of Endor is
tension. Oh
pretty
my
epic too.
god.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'll
Oh,
be
absolutely.
right back.
It's not the Battle of Coruscant, but it's like it's up there.
Oh yeah.
And for the time when you're in the theater in the 80s, that probably blew
That
their
was
fucking
mind-blowing.
minds. Yeah. I mean, how I remember like going back and watching uh what we watched Who for our movie night, my girlfriend and I last weekend we watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I was like, I remember as a kid being amazed, like how they get the cartoon. Like I knew that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
like how they
yeah.
get the cartoons with the live action. That's so amazing. Same with Space Jam. But then I'm, going back as an adult, and I'm like, wow, this is a little cheesy. This is a little
Yeah.
cheese. But it's also been 20 something years, and I've been spoiled by a CGI that
Yeah, no,
looks like
you always you need to have like perspective when it comes to this sort of thing
exactly.
because okay, Delta and I we're prequel babies. We grew up with the prequels. I don't know how old you are, Wildcat, if you don't want to divulge, but
He left.
um
He went AFK for a sec.
Yeah, sorry.
oh
Food arrived at
Okay.
the door.
Oh, good.
oh
We here?
you there?
Yeah.
Am I
Okay.
here?
Yeah, sorry. No, I was saying Delta and I we grew up prequel. We were prequel babies. We grew up with that era. I don't know how old you are, or if you want to divulge that
I'm
online.
old.
But I know because in many ways we've been like
I remember
spoiled in terms of like,
MySpace.
um in many ways, yeah, we've been like spoiled in terms of special effects, and like things we thought were standard, which yeah, back in the 70s and 80s when Star Wars came out, like that was the most ridiculous, like mind-boggling shit. Imagine there's a completely different perspective.
Oh yeah, like I have, and that's kind of the thing is like I've never once questioned like their technical prowess, right? It was always because the way I put it is like, okay, there are other movies who have done better at the same time period, if not earlier. So it's like, okay, if you just want to do teddy bears that beat the Empire because technical reasons, well, there are better examples before you that have done it. So it's like can't really give the benefit of the doubt on that one because there are previous examples that did slightly better in that terms of like a final climactic battle kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah,
But
no,
to date
there's
myself,
a lot of interesting like factors when it comes to but
no, the space battle was just
the space battle was beautiful.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's
yeah.
what we
No,
were
I love
talking
episode
about.
six.
Even with
Yeah.
well, we were getting into special effects, and I was saying that given the time, it's the 80s. It was still like it's no Battle of Coruscant, but it was still like whoa.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually will say I prefer episode 6's space battle over Coruscant, mainly for the fact
okay.
I like the battle.
You
of Coruscant.
prefer the practical effects.
I prefer the practical effects. I love the battle of Coruscant. Don't get me wrong. get me some Battle of Coruscant music going, get me a huge montage that spans from 2003 Clone Wars right into episode 3. Oh,
yeah.
harder than Beskar. Love it. But I love the practical effect of seeing those models on screen with what they had at the time. Like, there's something so charming about it. Like, I'm a person who loves 80s anything. Heck, one of my favorite franchises is still rooted in the 80s. It's BattleTech. Has not changed in over 30 years. So it's like I love the practical. I love the style of the original trilogy. That it barely works sci-fi.
The gritty, like weathered.
There's a button
look to it.
It's what I call the button sci-fi. There's a button, and I can press it, and it does things.
Button as opposed to the hologram.
Exactly. Yes.
I get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's another reason why I love Aliens, for example.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Aliens
I love
is cool.
I love holograms, but I love the button.
No, I mean I love both. Really, no, I mean Mass Effect is one of my absolute favorite things. But but which is very much a clean hologram type sci-fi. But there's just something about the grittier, more quote unquote hard with the like feathered, lived in feel, you know.
I'll put in the words of Tex from Tex Talks BattleTech. I want a cord that looks like it's from Vietnam. That's 6 foot. You have to chunk it into place and then turn it. Like, oh,
you do a pretty good impression.
Nice.
It's like I need it to connect with the neural helmet and sparks. You're like, oh god, this is connected to my brain.
So with
cables are that's an aesthetic energy.
With our last half hour, do you want to get into a little bit of BattleTech? Actually,
sure.
My friend Zach, I went to go visit a couple of my internet friends. These are friends that I've been playing online with for years and years and years, and I finally went and met them for the first time, like a month or two ago. And my friend Zach, he's gotten really into BattleTech lately, and he was telling me about the Battle of Tukiad, where and he was trying to equate it to me about like Space AT&T beats Space Vikings. And
no,
I am very confused.
Okay,
so elaborate.
He's half right. He's half right.
I could
Space
be
AT&T. No, Space AT&T did go up against basically Space Mongolia.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm sorry, I just love Mongolia.
There are some clans. There are some of the clanners that do the Mongolian throat singing. You're not far off. Personally, for me, I would say there's way too much lore. There's way too much lore to just throw someone at Battle of Tukiad, right? It's like, yeah, Battle of Tukiad is the Battle of Cadia for 40K.
Oh wow, okay, big scale shit.
The planet broke before the guard did.
Yeah, to put it in perspective, Comstar, the defenders of the battle, brought, what was it? Over 200 divisions of soldiers. We're talking millions of soldiers. And they left with 10. 10 divisions. Yeah, so you go from, in 20 days, you go from like 150 to 200 divisions fighting strength. And in 20 days, you were down to 10. That's how big of the battle it was. The world was ruined. The world was not habitable.
Oh, jeez.
So,
dig settings with battles on that scale. That is
maybe
I'll have to look into this.
Now that was like the big grand scale battle, but that was after. And the crazy thing of it was to lead up to that battle was nearly 400 years of constant warfare between inter-houses. And then this huge invasion force called the clans just basically comes out of nowhere, and within like a year takes up nearly a quarter of the galaxy on their own. And everyone's like, who are you? Kind of thing. And it's like, oh, these guys did in a year what we've been doing for the past 300. Oh no. Not good. Yeah. So, and that led to Comstar, who held all the communication stuff, basically being like, yep, nope, we got to put a stop to this one. They're breaking up the balance of power. So they had to pull together all their forces for that culmination of battle. But before that, you had what was known as the Four Succession Wars.
Mhm.
Now, the first two are pretty apocalyptic. We're talking nukes used on a scale that made them plainly boring.
Oh God.
Oh.
Nukes and chemical weapons became boring because of the first and second Succession Wars. There was such a technological regression, they forgot how to even make like fusion reactors for a certain period of time. Things that basically ran everything, they forgot how to make them.
Oh jeez.
That was how bad the first two Succession Wars were. And even before that, there was an even worse war,
What do you
which
mean?
was which was the Ameris Civil War, which is basically the collapse of everything. So there's this huge lore of BattleTech, and the best way I could describe BattleTech on a whole is Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones and in space with giant robots. Like, I'll throw some pictures into the Discord chat if you want to show those on screen.
Okay.
As you throw those on, I figure we should go back and because there's been several questions we haven't answered.
Oh, true. And we've got. I'd probably want to do about I'll probably want to do 15 minutes because we're going on 2 hours here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could do the last 15 minutes answering questions. We could talk more BattleTech next
Yeah,
episode.
sorry, Wildcat. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you're fine. No, it's perfectly fine.
Okay, so I believe the last one we left off of was question: who do you guys think was the better leader in terms of combat, military genius, and what they've accomplished? Manda-LORE the Indomitable or Manda-LORE the Ultimate?
Manda-LORE the Indomitable. I actually just had this conversation in my Discord with someone. Actually, no, it was actually the Deep Core Discord, where I basically said that Manda-LORE the Indomitable was a forced simp for Ula Keldroma, and the rest of the Mandalorians were kind of screwed having to follow him.
So, in terms of combat himself, you know what the Indomitable intended with Keldroma, which is very impressive on its own. He did, of course, lose. If you haven't actually seen the fight between the Ultimate and Revan, so we don't know how that went down, like whether it was comparable.
We have
when it comes to feats.
Actually, we have a snippet of the fight between Manda-LORE the Ultimate and Revan in the Old Republic timeline web series.
Right. There's that one piece of him like swinging the axe and Revan like charging with the dragging the saber on the ground. That is so cool.
Yeah.
But that's not exactly an indicator of what his prowess actually was.
No, I just wanted to say actually.
He just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
When it comes to what they've accomplished, I would say the Ultimate easily, because Indomitable, impressive.
He brought the Republic to its knees. He conquered a quarter of the frickin' galaxy. The known galaxy at the time, but still.
Yeah, that is... Holy moly! There's
if you look
no
at the maps in the Essential Atlas, he had the entire top right quadrant of the galaxy.
Yep. it's freaking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Stephen Murphy said some very nice stuff about your videos. How you're nice about talking about, just straight up about lore instead of complaining about stuff.
Awesome, thank you. That's the goal of Mandalore. I mean, I'm complaining here, but this isn't my normal videos.
This isn't. Well, yeah, these are. This is
I
a
can
shit
bitch
posting.
and complain all I want here. This isn't Tad Larkin speaking. This is the writer behind him.
People talking, debating, episodes, which ones are better.
You're all
I
wrong.
sent
It's the
some.
Phantom Menace.
So
Here's a Phantom Menace. I sent some pretty decent artworks that kind of get the feel and the feeling of BattleTech pretty spot on, I would say.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Warhammer 40k with the giant mechs.
Yeah, except the giant mechs are the standard.
Yeah.
Josh, my friend, asks, would you guys say that Halo CE through Reach is the button or the hologram? Game, not movie, but I think that charm and aesthetic can go into it. Definitely button. There's some
Button.
of course there are holograms. And whatever. Yeah, no,
There's
of
a lot
course
of
Cortana, the things on the bridges, especially in Halo Wars, but
I've got a lady inside my head that calls me stud.
me stuff.
Please leave me alone.
But no, I would argue Halo is very much more leaning into button type because like it's compare okay, quintessential hologram. We were saying Mass Effect. Compare the Kodiak to the Falcon. One's much more because these are two semi-comparable air vehicles. Or let's say even Pelican. The Kodiak, it just, of course there's the explanations with Element Zero and whatever, but it just lifts
The Pelican just
goes.
The Pelican is grounded.
The Pelican has actual, the engines. You actually see the exhaust like vents and.
The Pelican seems like it could actually work in
I'm
real
sorry.
life.
I'm sorry. My brain has been deteriorated so much that every time I hear suspicious, imposter, vent, among.
Oh
sorry.
God!
Please put me out of my misery.
I will say.
Yeah.
So funny thing is, the Pelican, and I didn't believe this when I first heard it, but the Pelican is the same size as an AC-130.
Oh, really? Pelicans are colossal.
Well, they can carry
giant.
warthogs, so.
Well,
no,
I mean,
they can carry scorpions.
Yes, that's
they
right.
Can carry scorpions. Yeah, they can carry scorpions.
They're
can carry
deceptively massive.
Yeah, like I didn't believe it at first. I was like, no. And then I took a AC-130 model, and they're all scaled because I went and actually scaled them to a 6 foot tall human, and I was like, oh my God, they're huge.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm climbing inside of this thing. Oh my God.
I haven't played any post-Reach games, as I've said
good.
before, so I
don't.
And of the Halo books I've read First Strike, and I think I read The Flood, and I think that was it.
Read Fall of Reach. It's so
read Fall of Reach. Okay, I need to vent about Halo for a quick moment.
Here we go.
You've got 9 minutes.
This is not even about 343 stuff. This is about Bungie screwing over the lore at the last minute. So,
in terms of the Reach timeline?
In terms of the Reach timeline, because the Fall of Reach and Halo Reach the game conflict with each other on so many levels.
Really?
Yeah, like huge.
Yeah, you really need to squint to make it work. Like, okay, the basics of sorry, no, sorry. Well, okay, this is your
yeah. So
please go ahead.
Yeah, so the thing with the big thing with Halo Reach is one, Cortana is supposed to be 4 years old by that point. And in Halo Reach the game, she is just made.
Well,
2.
There's been retcons here and there to make things.
It's been so many retcons.
In the context of the game, Yes, that
It was implied that she was just made like that at that point in time. And the other one is um, the the timeline of the invasion is completely off.
Yep.
Because in Halo Reach, the Battle of Reach in the book lasted 24 hours.
Yeah.
The game lasted 2 months.
Yeah. That's one of the like very frustrating things. Like Delta, I know you are very familiar with this sort of thing. So yeah, to make these sort of conflicting things work, apparently in the current canon, so yeah, no, the original just fleet of Indomitable Will, or I forget which. The Covenant invasion, yes, began like mid-June or something, and then so apparently the fighting is relegated to one hemisphere, and they didn't notify the other end because they were still prepping for Operation First Strike, which is just dumbest thing. Like
Operation Red Flag. It was called Red Flag because they were getting all the Spartan 2s together to try and hijack a Covenant spaceship to take it back to High Charity to try and capture one of the prophets to force a ceasefire.
Yeah.
But the thing is like the Pillar of Autumn was pulled out of dry dock, refitted for the entire time, and was already in space for the entirety of the book, fighting in space, but yet somehow is on Reach at the same time.
Yeah, because I remember at the end of the game, you get in the Pillar of Autumn and it flies off.
Yes. But in the book, it's been in space for the past several months.
So, okay, it's good I didn't read the book before playing the game, because then I just feel the same way I do about the EU and the Disney canon and TCW and all that.
Yes. Also, Cortana was never on, or the only time Cortana was on Reach was for a brief moment back in July before
No. During the test when they did the bitch slapping the missile the day before.
And then she's up with Chief
August 29th
on the Pillar of Autumn. The entire Battle of Reach.
The retcon, the current canon is that what Noble Six delivered was actually just a fragment of Cortana, which
is dumb.
Sure, whatever.
So it's just like
kind of like with the Operation Skyhook retcons, where it's like, oh no,
those aren't
the Death Star plans. That's just a piece of the Death Star plans, which makes sense, and I don't mind.
That makes more sense
at all.
That makes more sense because their entire plans of a thing the size of the moon.
No,
this is a AI that
working in construction and with different systems, like you might have an architect design the structure of it, but then you have a fire alarm designer designing the fire alarm systems. You have an HVAC designer designing the HVAC systems. So there are plenty of different parts of the plans, and
you have a security designer for all the security systems.
Yeah, and they're rarely all in one place. Sometimes you gotta call people.
Exactly, but then this is an AI who has not been fragmented, because you can't just fragment an AI and nothing go wrong. Because Cortana is quote unquote a smart AI, so she's actively learning and like making decisions for herself and such like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's impossible to just take a piece of her away, or just to add another piece to her, unless she's going rampant.
I don't recall if that was established. Anyway, I think that sounds right, but I don't recall any specific statements about no fragmentation prior.
Well, it's not even a prior fragmentation or just another addition onto her. It's the fact that she is an AI. She was cloned, basically. She's a cloned hologram
from
Dr. Halsey. So it's not like you can just. It's not like a human. It's constructed like a human brain. You can't just add a chunk to a human brain and it not suffer something from that.
Definitely. I'm not trying to cut you off or anything, but I'm just because Delta said there's a time limit,
Yeah.
and there's still several questions we haven't gotten to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to keep these around like 2 hours. If we go a couple minutes over, I'm not gonna flip my lid.
That's fair.
I just
Okay,
want to keep
I
it.
wasn't sure if you had some plans or
Oh
something.
no! I like to keep it long form. I mean, you guys had the
Not
idea for
too
this,
long.
but
Yeah.
I like to keep it long form, but still digestible.
Yeah.
If I may give an
go on.
alternative. So I'd come up with an alternative as to how to make Reach fit with the book canon.
One of them is propaganda.
Re-
or
Reach is the propaganda movie.
Reach is
Because
propaganda.
Reach is the propaganda movie made by Oni to distribute to the population as to how Reach went down. Because in the book, it's a lot darker. Because again, the battle for Reach in the book lasted a single day.
Yeah, maybe they're embarrassed that it took less than 24 hours for Reach to fall.
It took basically less than 24 hours for Reach to fall, whereas in the game, it took several months. So it's like, oh, this makes us look better. It makes humanity look like we fought harder than what we did. Instead, no, in reality, you fought hard. You were just bitch smacked by the Covenant.
Yeah.
So
That's one of the things I remember from reading the Halo books is just how, like, actually powerful the Covenant were, and just like how technologically incapable the UNSC actually was.
That's one of the things I always there's such a it's like a fighting against like
It's
the
like,
inevitable
how
feel.
the hell did they even win?
'Cause generally it takes when it comes to like ship warfare, for example, it takes about like you need
Three
a
Mac
3-to-1 advantage.
Oh, the
Yes.
space battles were the best part about
Space
First Strike.
Oh, yeah.
I remember those,
Yeah.
reading about them charging up the Mac cannons and
Mac rounds in atmosphere.
and them kind of doing a little bit of a. I wonder if they actually had some influence from Heir to the Empire, because I remember there being a sequence where I can't remember the big captain guy's name.
Oh, Whitcomb.
Well, the admiral guy that was like famous for doing this. Like he got like
the Keys Loop. The Keys Loop.
Oh no! I mean, I remember like because this was kind of like a little bit of a Marg Sable thing, like what Thrawn did in Heir to the Empire. But
Admiral Cole.
He took
Admiral
one of the
Cole.
he took one of the repair ships and basically used it as like a shield.
Yes.
While he charged his Mac cannons, and I remember reading that, being like, "Whoa!"
Yes, he took that was during the Battle of Reach actually, and they took a giant repair station that was basically just like a giant flat slate, and they were like, use that as a shield, charge Mac cannons behind the shield, pop up and fire,
Oh,
pop back down and charge.
Maybe
I
I
never
did
noticed
read
that.
Fall of Reach.
That does. Once you mention it, that is very similar to the Mark Sable. I wonder if there was influence there. That's very plausible.
It was one of the coolest scenes in the entire book. I was like, oh, this is cool.
I read that in 8th grade once, and it still stuck with me.
It's such a cool scene.
Hell yeah.
Because they describe how like the plasma torpedoes just pounded against it, melting armor away. They're like, yeah, gotta sacrifice it anyway. But hey, it gives us more shots fired off.
Yeah, that was that was like I was 13, so I'm 27 now. It's at least 20 years ago. Oh no, it's at least like 13 years ago.
And it still sticks in your mind. Some stuff just stick. When stuff's cool, hey,
it sticks.
I don't really remember the rest of the books, but I remember that scene. I remember learning about.
It's one of the best scenes.
I remember learning about John's upbringing and their training.
Okay, you did read Fall of Reach.
You read Fall of Reach.
I guess I did.
Yeah, because that was explicitly detailed in the Fall of Reach.
Okay, so I wonder what happened to that book, because the only one I have a physical copy of now that I'm looking at on my shelf right now is First Strike.
Interesting.
It's also fantastic. But
it's also a good one. I will 100% take the books over the games any day.
After I finish Fate of the Jedi, I think I'm going to reread that.
Do it. It's good.
Well, so currently I'm reading the on my phone, I'm reading the Rogue Squadron comics. I'm listening at work. I'm listening to the Fate of the Jedi audiobooks, and then before bed, I'm finishing reading Shadows of Mindor. So I'm actually reading several things simultaneously.
Nice.
If I may add one more to your list that you might want to read. And this actually, I want to share with the entirety of chat. I just posted it in the Discord chat. Galaxy's Edge Legionnaire.
Oh, I actually have it. I've yet to read it.
Okay,
I've heard
listen to
nothing
the
but
audiobook. Listen to the audiobook because it's fantastic.
I thought Galaxy's Edge was new canon.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Confusingly enough, Galaxy's Edge is not. There's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the theme park, and then there is Galaxy's Edge, the book series.
Basically, Galaxy's Edge is Star Wars, but written by actual military veterans.
Huh.
And it's Star Wars written better.
The tagline is "The galaxy is a dumpster fire."
Galaxy is a dumpster fire. It is amazing.
I dig the aesthetic there too. Very very Titanfall-y, which I adore. Very the button, as we were saying before.
Yeah.
But,
and it's like let me find a really good one because
I've
they
seen
do
the cover for this book at Barnes Noble.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty funny because I post that picture right there and totally not ripping off Star Wars. No.
Didn't look like a Phase 1 clone trooper at all. That does not look like a Jedi at all, I don't think.
Doesn't look like a Jedi at all. Also, okay, here's this one.
Okay, that cover is straight up, yeah, homage.
Also, this one, totally not Revan in HK-51. Totally not.
Oh my god. I might as well
Totally
be named Meatbag.
Not too shill, but if you like military sci-fi, there's a series called Realm Wars, which I may or may not have been involved with as an editor.
Also, quick aside, I want to point out in Galaxy's Edge Imperator on the cover, if you look closely at like the two soldiers on the left, they're holding the Halo 4 battle rifle.
Oh my god!
I haven't played 4, so
that's the
it does look like a battle rifle though.
When it comes to this sort of book cover art, it's asset reusing is rampant. I'm not gonna. Were this a big corporation, I would be calling out and saying, "Hey, screw you! Don't do that." But this is, a small,
this is small
writer. Maybe I'm a hypocrite, but I think that's fine in this scenario. I don't know.
I find it very charming. I also posted a battle rifle for reference.
Yeah, no, that is straight up.
It's just straight up.
I will remind you, Sam, that Das Junior once used a P90, so.
True. I mean, even several Marvel comics, have reused, like Star Wars blasters, Halo guns. Like Deadpool had like this whole arsenal of just Halo guns. Yeah, no, there's interesting stuff there, but okay,
yeah.
So right, the questions.
Questions.
Okay,
maybe we should do questions.
Right. James Lunagazer asks again, what if Vulvif Mon was Ahsoka's master? Since he never got to shine in the EU or 2003 micro series, I feel like he could have been the perfect character to spend in the second Clone Wars series.
No,
Vulvif Mon is interesting.
It's gotta be Plo Koon.
I know, I agree on that front, but one of the things I find really funny about Vulvif Mon is him, Oron Karab, and one other dude, I believe, were the results of like a fan art contest.
Fal Mudana.
That's right. And he was the first place winner.
Oh, he's the wolf dude.
Yeah,
the Wolfith
Yes.
one. Yes.
Yes.
He was yes, he was the first place winner. So he ended up being in the show. And
Because
then the other two were the second and third place, respectively.
because Star
However,
Wars is secretly infested with furries.
but the funny thing is, at Vulvith, he got all of like 30 seconds of screen time, whereas the latter two ended up with a lot more in the second season. So
yeah, they got to fight
uh,
Grievous.
yeah, they actually
Yeah.
got to fight. So that I find that funny. But yeah, I don't know. I would have been down, but no, I think Plo Koon, given Filoni's love of Plo Koon, which I respect, Plo Koon is just fucking awesome.
Not the only thing I can respect Filoni for.
He's
But,
so awesome, he can breathe in vacuum without any other apparatus.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, I know he does have his rebreather or whatever, but there's such thing as micrometeorites, right? That's the primary reason for, like,
Space
avoiding
suits. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, he could just use the Force to repel them away. I guess technically he could just use the Force to make a bubble of whatever is breathable to him around him. I believe it's methane he breathes. No, it's helium. He breathes helium.
Well, that's probably even easier for him.
Really, with a voice that high pitched, low pitched.
Well, funnily enough, Plo Koon used to communicate telepathically in the comics, and then they changed it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Honestly, I'll be honest.
I'm able to headcanon it as when Plo Koon is speaking in the show that's what you're hearing inside the characters' heads.
That's fair.
Okay, that's fair.
Even though his mouth is clearly moving underneath his mask when he speaks, but whatever.
maybe his mandibles or whatever they just instinctively.
Yeah, Keldor without their masks are freaky.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Next question.
We're already at 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Question for you all. Name something from the EU/Legends that you think is absolutely stupid. For example, I think in IG-88, uploading his mind into the Death Star is stupid.
Oh.
I have mixed feelings on that because Tales of the Bounty Hunters was one of the first books I read, so there's a soft spot in my heart for that. Think Therefore I Am, the short story, which had that concept. Yeah, mixed feelings on that one. To name something stupid,
there's a couple.
First.
Callista Ming being uploaded inside the Eye of Palpatine.
Okay, yeah, that's a little out there.
That's pretty out there.
Yeah.
The Null.
You don't like Null? How do you pronounce that?
Exactly.
You don't like that you can't pronounce it? That's it?
No.
Refreshing.
I just find it. Okay. So the Null are basically goo flood from Halo.
Yes, correct.
I don't remember this. Where was this featured?
They're in the
Regions
outer
RPG.
They're in the unknown regions, and it's just
Mangal. Mengal.
The unknown regions is a freaky part of space, anyways.
I don't like the Null. It's just
according to supernatural counters, is the offspring of Telatni.
I just sitting over here. I'm like, man, I just got out of Halo that had the flood, and I'm going to Star Wars that has flood again, but as a gray goo. It's even less terrifying. No, I will say the most terrifying thing in Star Wars Legends is the space ghosts.
I think Abeloth is pretty terrifying.
Oh, the Star Weirds? Yeah,
the Star Weirds. The Star Weirds are freaky.
Just Abeloth's like no eyes and then creepy mouth.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm kind of adjusted to Abeloth's look because mainly it kind of just looks like something off of DeviantArt. I'll be honest.
I mean, there is no. The only physical visual depiction we've seen of her is her possessing someone's body. So we've never seen a visual of her true form. So,
but like
both those are fan art.
I was gonna say the fans do really good. Again, I've been listening to the audiobooks for Fate of the Jedi, but the fan art I've seen captures her like perfectly well.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't.
It's
I'm just kind of used to it.
bloody terrifying.
Okay. Oh, you know what? For something stupid. Okay. Maybe controversial since this is an EU circle. I don't know. A lot of Dark Empire. I'm just not.
Oh yeah, no,
Especially the whole concept of reviving Palpatine, because
I agree.
I don't mind it at
Just-
all, and I think I've said it before. I think it's fitting.
from an EU context, with the backtracking which came from the Darth Plagueis novel and the Book of Sith.
Palpatine wanted to cheat
enough.
Death. That's how he did it.
That was his whole thing. Yes. From a thematic perspective, like the whole point, even disregarding George Lucas's saying that no, that the only lightsiders can, pass death and whatever. Disregarding that takes away from the whole important meaning of something I'll get to in a minute. Sorry, takes away from Anakin's sacrifice.
Yeah.
But actually, no. The thing I dislike even more is Luke going to the dark side in Dark Empire, because
we've been over this in
the
Dark
whole
Empire.
point of Return of the Jedi.
He doesn't actually go over to the dark side. We've discussed this in other.
He's playing against Sidious, but it's still kind of dumb.
Yeah, I mean, because the whole point of Return of the Jedi is him struggling with the dark side, but overcoming it in the end. Like when he looks at his hand.
Listen,
Jedi like my father before me.
Listen, I used to be where you were, but I reread it and then reading Darth Plagueis, and then going back and experiencing all of these new EU stories I hadn't been exposed to before, and basically doing Manda-LORE has made me appreciate Dark Empire a lot more.
Oh, I got one. This is gonna push some buttons, but I like pushing buttons.
My jimmies are already rustled from Psalm's comments, so go ahead.
I don't like the Yuuzhan Vong.
I don't mind them.
That's a common opinion.
I don't like them because it's honestly, it's just Tyranids, but they look skeleton.
Yeah,
and
I have mixed feelings as well.
And it's just like
I'm indifferent towards them. I understand where a lot of people that don't like them are coming from.
Because I'm of the mind, it's like I like inter conflicts, right? Interfaction conflicts between nation. That's because it gives a political drive, right? With the Vong, it was just extinction. It's like there's no politics to that.
It's just the straight up genocide. It's boring, is what you're saying.
It gets kind of boring.
I totally get what you mean, because even I I get why people who like them. I get why people who don't like them don't like them. I haven't consumed enough NJO era stuff to have a strong opinion on it.
So you're in my boat.
I just think that the way I've seen it, I'd put it, is an interesting concept done poorly, because the whole idea of non-force based enemies to breathe some fresh air into, instead of having to fight Sith Lord number 999.
Yeah.
And doing bioorganic stuff. Sure, cool.
Yeah.
They got a little too, for a lot of people, they ended up just being too edgelord.
Yes.
With the self-mutilation and
too many spikes.
I do really like their religion though, and
there's definitely some interesting stuff there.
Some of their background lore I do find actually pretty fascinating.
Oh no, same here. I love the extragalactic mysteries, with
I feel if they were a smaller, I feel if they were like a quote unquote smaller threat, as in they're this new sect of aliens that were recently discovered,
as opposed to the war with
extragalactic
count in his
So kind of like the lost tribe of the Sith a little bit.
Almost, yeah. And it's like this small thing, and you have this more interpersonal conflict rather than this galaxy scrambling to try and fight this overpowering force that literally came out of the other galaxy. And it's like,
Immediately, right after
if I want some of that, I'll read Halo stuff.
yeah.
So,
If I wanted that, I'll read Halo or I'll read 40K.
I mean, so it comes after a period. The Galactic Civil War had just ended after the signing of the Paleon-Gaversham Treaty. It would have been cool to see more growing pains of the New Republic before
Right?
extinction level event
It was
came.
crushed. Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Like one of my personal favorite stories that I fan wrote for Legends is right around the time of that happening. You have this sect of Mandalorians start rising, and they're not really like combative. They're not like taking over planets, but they're becoming an economic power. So they're gathering more materials, and like the New Republic.
That's kind of what happened post Vong War and Legends.
That's kind of what happened
they
in
had a
Crucible.
resurgence.
Right.
They had a resurgence because of following the Yuuzhan Vong bombardment of Mandalore. They've managed to find more Beskar deposits.
Right. But I'm saying this isn't because they find new deposits or anything like that. They just economically start growing because they start manufacturing. They might produce something else. Like I had firstly for my Mandalorian, Kira, she finds some old droid factories in an asteroid belt. And she's like, oh, well, I could use this to help start funding my own forces. So she starts producing small amounts of battle droids or service droids or whatever she can really make, and starts selling those intermediately, kind of in the black market, to generate funds for her clan, because her whole thing is she wants to rebuild Clan Kadera. So she uses that to help buy new warships, and then with the warships, because she doesn't have the Mandalorians, she staffs them primarily with battle droids. Don't need highly trained Mandalorians piloting a warship too much.
You've got droid brains.
You got droid brains.
It's like
You can have
finding the
Dreadnought fleet.
Spartai cylinders or the Dreadnought fleet. Well, he
Yeah.
used the Spartai cylinders to clone a crew for the Dreadnought fleet.
Right. So it was that kind of mentality, which ironically she was Chiss, so makes sense. So it shows like the New Republic. It's this small faction that the New Republic realizes is becoming a threat, is potential to become a new Mandalorian threat, and they're like, what do we do? And they're like, well, we know that she has a planet on Dejun, or she has like a small base on Dejun in the deep jungles, and it basically comes down to the New Republic sending a task force down to try and wipe out the base, but they basically become embroiled in the New Republic's version of Vietnam. And the New Republic loses pretty substantially, and so like the general who's leading it is suddenly disgraced. The admirals in charge were disgraced, and the New Republic is very unhappy politically with the action. So they come to Kira and they're like, hey, we're sorry. Please, please, please don't take it out on us. Will you take a ceasefire? We will become trading partners in small scale. Kadera being like, yeah, I'm okay with this. Because she didn't lose too much. She mainly just lost material things, which with her having a small factory, she can just produce that again. So she's like, yeah, I can do that. And so she starts becoming this small time manufacturing trading partner for the New Republic. After the New Republic tried to screw over, and they realized there was more to gain by carrot than by stick.
Interesting concept you've got there.
Right, and I was like, that introduces more of the interpolitics rather than just good versus evil.
Yeah.
And I think Star Wars needs a bit more of that interpolitics. Like the New Republic does have those growing pains of they're a new government. They're pretty ambitious. They want to show a force. They want to show a force to prove that they can take on the Imperial remnant that still exists. And that, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense that a new government would want to do that.
Like, I get where they were coming from with the Yuuzhan Vong as a new threat. They kind of wanted to go away from the whole trope that they'd been doing for like a decade, which was, Empire versus Rebels. Even
New
though the
remnant, new warlord.
yeah,
Like,
and and like you said, it could have been done better. But I don't dislike the Vong, and to kind of wrap things up here because we are at almost 2.5 hours. Um, uh, I do wish we saw a lot more of the new warship classes that they were
Oh
coming
yeah.
out with at that era, with the Nebula class Star Destroyer and the Endurance class fleet carrier, because a lot of the stuff we see in like Legacy of the Force and the Swarm War and the Yuuzhan Vong War is just still more Mon Cal ships
Yeah.
and INCOM fighters. There isn't really a lot in the way of new technology. And in Legacy of the Force, to be fair, we get a lot of new descriptions. We get a lot of like descriptions of new vessels, but we have no artwork to actually know what they look like.
Sadly.
Yeah, and it would have been
only
nice.
stuff by Fractal Sponge, by a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Who is, by the way, a legend.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, that was the one thing is like if we could replace the Vong, like keep the Vong. Keep them small scale, kind of hidden threat
Kind of
for
like the
teething-
Nagai invasion.
Yeah, have them like a teething threat for the New Republic to show that the New Republic is trying to make amends for the previous Republic's failures.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was their whole point.
So
Their whole point was
since
to
we
do that.
are, sorry to interrupt, but since we
Yeah,
are
okay.
approaching the time, let's do some rapid fire on the remaining questions.
Uh,
So yeah, Stephen Murphy said, yeah, more nice things about the channel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you,
he
Stephen.
said, he's talking about the sad news regarding Tom Kane, who had a stroke and
Oh
can no
yeah.
longer talk.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
heard about that. No more Yoda.
It's very, yeah, which is unfortunate.
Other than Frank
Is-
Oz, like with James Arnold Taylor, he is
That's-
Yoda. Like with Frank
Yeah.
Oz.
Yeah, no, he's
That's sad.
yeah, so he was asking if we have any particularly like memories or fond memories of Tom Kane's voice acting.
Oh, anytime he voiced Yoda in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Yeah.
I know you two have a big distaste for TCW, but I dig that 40s style voiceover he did at the beginning of every episode.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Agreed. I'm okay with that. That was charming.
No, that was just the World War II style thing. Let's see, are there any more questions?
I'm sorry. I see something called question about Super Darth Vader.
What?
Question. Knowing
knowing
Palpatine was revived instead of the original plan, what do you think the imposter wearing Vader's suit story would have been? Like a powered up version called Super Darth Vader?
Oh, that was the original plan for Dark Empire, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh
and
no!
then George
Wait,
said
an
no.
imposter? Bum 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 bum.
Oh god.
Oh no!
I'll end the
No,
stream right now, don't make me.
No!
Bum, bum.
No!
Yeah. Well, there was another story with a Vader clone, which, as it turned out, came from a facility under the ruins of the Dantooine Jedi Temple, which
I have
raises
not
many
heard of
questions.
this.
Neither
Oh,
have
Vader
I.
clone?
Oh, what?
Oh, you do? Okay, well, it was in
Was it a Tales comic?
No. It's pretty out there, but hold on, let me see.
It's got to be pretty out there. Me and Tad don't know about it.
Hide it from the EU haters.
Hide it. Nobody
I
speak
did-
of this.
No, nobody can find this.
Like we said in Cantina Roundtable, the EU haters would be a lot smarter if they actually fucking read.
Ah, yes, it was
They'd
from.
have more ammunition against us if they actually knew how to read.
Right, it was from. It was from Galaxy of Fear, the kids horror. Thing.
I'm sorry, there's a kids horror. What?
Oh, there was a series of books called Galaxy of Fear, which was yeah, like it was basically attempting to cash in on the Goosebumps trend in the 90s. So yeah, no, there were a handful of
I reject your
Wars
canon and
stories.
substitute my own.
But
God, Goosebumps. That's not something I've heard for a very long time.
yeah.
I remember the book fairs going. I remember going to the book fairs for those in primary school, and just
dude.
seeing those in Captain Underpants.
Scholastic book fairs. There's
Ah.
now that's nostalgia. Oh,
That's
man.
again. I'm dating
These
myself.
days. No. Hey, I'm 23. I had those.
I got the Boba Fett books, the young Boba Fett books at a Scholastic book fair.
Same. I got the Star Wars Episode 3 novelization from a Scholastic book fair.
Ooh, I got that as a present from my mom when I wasn't allowed to watch the movie.
I also was an idiot kid, and I drew all over it.
Ah,
Like all the pages, you can still read all the pages. I just drew on like the back of the front cover and the back covers, and then like it started to tear, so I used masking tape on the spine of it to keep it together, and I just drew on the spine.
nah.
So it's just got all these like scribbles all over it. I mean, granted, they're all Star Wars themed, like Stormtroopers or General Grievous or something like that. But it's still fully legible.
All right, guys.
So-
Since we're on 2.5 hours here,
Yeah, I believe we
why
got all
don't-
the questions anyway.
why don't we
Yeah.
talk about what we're working on, and then we'll sign
Oh
off.
boy, that's a laundry list.
So currently, I'm getting the next Manda-LORE episode ready. I've just I finished editing it, and I'm just waiting to render and export it. I've also got some Patreon exclusive stuff that I gotta get on because it's nearing the end of the month. And yeah, at the end of the month, my Patreon folks and I will get in a call, kind of like this, and just shoot the shit.
Shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
What are you working on, Sam?
Well, again, I am pretty much overwhelmed by classwork at the moment, but I will be graduating in December.
More videos. More
I
videos.
I promise in January that's gonna be my entire focus because I have several scripts done, several in progress.
And
my
we have
next
that big ass script that we worked on together that we haven't.
Yes,
done
our history of the
with.
Clone Wars. I did a lot of the editing, but then I lost it when I had my
You lost the
my
script?
computer.
What?
No. The script is still in our drive. Don't worry. Don't
thank
worry.
God.
Okay.
No.
We only
But,
finished the first year, but we worked so freaking long and hard on that.
Oh God, yeah. Yes, we did. But no. Don't worry. That's still in the works. Sorry,
Oh my
audience.
God.
No, I had a.
Oh, give me a
technical
minor
issue
heart
with the
attack there,
Trojan,
man.
Wrecked my computer, so I had to wipe everything. So I lost all the editing I had on that. Alas, thankfully we still have the script and everything. But the main thing I'm gonna be working on is actually using my basically it's a hypothesis I encountered while browsing /r/the Ma installation, which is a fantastic place for in-depth EU discussion. Check it out. Is whether the Force acts as basically a mutagen that accelerates the evolution of life in the Star Wars galaxy because the crux of the argument is things evolve way too fast there. Is it because of the Force? I will elaborate in said video.
Interesting.
Oh, nice. Well, we will look forward to it.
Thank you, thank you. And what
Yeah.
about you, Wildcat? You working on anything or?
Oh, I got a lot. Currently working on a series I started doing called the BattleTech Campfire Stories, where I'm actually working with actual voice actors to bring the standard, person of the BattleTech series to life.
Nice.
Hey.
Mech warriors and infantrymen, their stories across the galaxy. Um, working with actually some top tier talent with that one. Tex of Tex Talks BattleTech. Try to get one of the Emperor's text to speech guys involved in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. In fact, I'm going to be trying to get the guy who does Rogel Dorn.
Yes.
Yes.
I am Rogel Dorn.
That's not a bad impersonation, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
That's really good.
It was not keck. It was cringe.
It was not Kirk, father. It was cringe.
Delayed.
No.
And then I'm still doing
Access
artwork.
denied.
I'm doing artwork for the
brothers and toadies.
Brothers and Toaders. Make them repent. And then I'm working on artwork for the next Text Talks BattleTech, which is about the Warhammer Battle Mech, which is going to be fantastic. And commissions. People bought out those commissions real quick, which is always
I
good.
have money. I will talk to you.
Well, we shall watch your career with great interest.
Great interest.
And if I may plug, down in the description, my Patreon. If you guys do the $20 a month, you do get a free Source Filmmaker picture every month, or you can save it up for more stuff if you want.
Nice.
Yeah.
In the description, I've got everybody's YouTubes and Patreons and other social media.
Other wonderful things.
So don't be afraid to check those out. And thank you guys for joining us for the very first episode of the Oyu'baat Cast. We
do this every Saturday now?
Maybe not every Saturday, but
Maybe not every.
I would like this to be semi-regular.
Once a month,
absolutely.
maybe?
Yeah, once a month could do. We'll be your period.
Andosila.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah, Nervode. Orentie. I forget. I don't know what the hell this how to call it. Say audience in Mandoa. Vode, whatever. You're all Vode.
We will brush up on our Mandoa for next episode.
Retourshemi for watching. I don't know how to say watching.
Alrighty.
Peace out.
Retourshemi.
And may the force be with you always.